I won't obey. You cannot tell me what I cannot say. I'm here to last, so yeah, I'm here to stay. I'll live each second like my final day. You can't take that away. Yeah.
Waco, the aftermath, episode 1, 2, 3. It's only a 5-part series. I could just imagine being on the stage with Michael Jackson right now. Stay. You cannot tell me what I'm gonna say. You cannot take that shit away from me. Man, all right, here we go. Here we go. You know, you got to be a little versatile. You know, we might not get a lot of people in here because they don't give a damn about no Waco, the aftermath. But guess what? We watching Waco, the aftermath, because that's one thing Mo can do. I can take you to the hood. I can take political. I could even break down a romance show. I could break down a comedy. I can break down true crime. You put it in front of me, we will conquer it. We will conquer it. Waco, the aftermath, episode 1, 2, and 3. I literally just finished watching episode 3 15 minutes ago. I watched it, came in here, threw together a BS thumbnail. I apologize. We ain't got all the glitz and glamour, but we're going to talk about episode 1, 2, and 3. Now, you got to bear with me. Gotta bear with me because a lot of names I'm gonna get messed up, and you know we give everyone a nickname, but since this is a true story, we're gonna have to relate it to everything that's real. So I haven't done any digging on any of the characters yet, but we're gonna start looking at their real life, comparing it to, you know, seeing if all the characters are real. So what you guys think about it so far? Yes, Stream Clips, the show is good. Production is great, the acting is great, and it's following the true storyline. So we, like I said, we just gonna be cross-references and see, you know, what was for the movie and what actually happened. But man, they did a hell of a job with this. I'm not gonna lie, Showtime. This is an A. I don't know what I would give it on the scale of 1 to 10. It's like a 9. I ain't gonna lie to you. The shit's good to me. But that's if you into like history and, you know, there's little political aspects in here. But guess what? They always talk about, man, power ain't real. That's unrealistic in power. Well, we're going to see a lot of shit here, and I'm related to all the other shows we watch to show you that not only is it real, but it's going on every single day. Now, of course, this is back in 94, but you get what I'm saying. Now, if you don't know anything about Waco, there was a cult down there led by a guy by the name of David Koresh. Now, David Koresh is kind of like Salim. Not by, well, he's worse than Salim, the things that he did, but David Koresh was not his real name. His real name was Vernon. Like, I never knew that. I just always knew David Koresh's name. So it's a lot of stuff that you're going to see and hear that you didn't know a lot about. They're going to be talking about the CIA. We just watched the show, Snowfall, CIA. We're about to see how they cover stuff up. The FBI. We're going to see how they cover stuff up. So it's a lot of stuff in this, and all of this is, well, not all of it's true, but the majority of it's true. So we're going to go through this little thing, and you know what I'm saying, see what we can do. We got 3 episodes, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. So if we taking too long looking at historical events and facts, just let me know. Mo, pick it up. Pick it up. We want to hear the show. We don't give a fuck about the real life shit. We want to talk about the show. All right, let's talk about the show then. So how y'all want to do? How y'all want to do this? Because I can give y'all the story like from the beginning, because we still be reviewing the shows. You want me to just start the show off and then we branch off, or do you want to talk about the characters, the main ones first, so we understand who they are and where they fit in the storyline, so we aren't all confused? You know, we do this however y'all want to do it. I got the storyline. The storyline's here. Don't worry about that. I got that. Y'all tell me what direction y'all want us to go with. We just start talking about the show if you knew. I mean, because who I want to know is if they're real is Carol. That's one person I do want to find out if that was a real person or not. Now I forgot this dude's name is Mitch, right? He's Mitch. He's with the FBI. So he was one of the original people that went in there. And right now he's giving his testimony. Well, they're trying to get all the information of what happened that day. And right now he's saying that they fired the Davidians. They fired onto the police first, well, the agency. HBO has a documentary on the DC sniper. I think HBO put one out, or it may have been Showtime. But they did a movie. They got a movie on yeah, it's called the Crimes of the Century. But yeah, they got one. But yeah, Torian, we could definitely work on something. We could definitely work on something. Let me bring up the character because this guy's name is Mitch, and I think he was with the DEA. I mean, not the DEA, but the FBI with our boy Gary. Gary and Angie. See, it's a lot of characters because they're giving the whole story. So we're gonna have the 5 people from Waco. Well, it's technically 4 because one of them is gonna flip. But the 4 people from Waco, each episode, we're gonna get one of their stories. So all their stories are gonna fit in. They're gonna be on trial. Then we got the police side because the Oklahoma City bombing is connected to this story also. So, man, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on here. So that's why I say you already know how my mind is. We're probably gonna get sidetracked. We haven't even we spoke about Mitch for 2 seconds, and all right, let me get focused. No DC sniper right now. No DC sniper. Let me bring the cast up just to make sure. All right, this is Mitch. I'm right. I'm right. Not Kendall. He just saying we in here, we working. Like you be in the chat rooms, you controlling this stuff. He just saying we busy. I get you, doctor. I get you, PhD. But Mitch is saying that the Davidians, David Koresh's people out there in Waco, they got the firing first. So what he's trying to tell our boy, he's trying to tell Gary, you were there, you know how it was. And Gary's saying, but it didn't happen like that. There were 74 people in there that died. I think it was 74, 71. We should say 70 plus people that were in there that ended up dying. When the feds didn't really have a plan. No one had a plan for this. It was just go there and they thought it was going to be simple. Serve this arrest warrant, go in there, get David Koresh and whoever else, bring them on out. But of course, we're going to find out a little bit in the trial what actually happened and how the shooting started. But right now, of course, the feds, they're going to protect themselves. So Mitch is in here trying to tell Gary right here, which is a flashback to him at a bank robbery. Now, there's a bank robbery by a white guy named Wild Bill. Now, Wild Bill, he's inside the bank and he's holding people's hostages. And he's like, listen, I'm about to do it. I'll do it. Don't need more. Dude, give me a helicopter. Get me the fuck up out of here. Now, right now, Wild Bill, he has a little organization and they have robbed 21 banks, have never been caught. So Wild Bill is really living up to the name at this point. He's on the phone with Gary, our star FBI agent. And he's just trying to talk him down like, hey, come on out. We got you. Wild Bill's like, nah, I already know what it is. Y'all trying to set me up. And Gary's job as a negotiator is to keep him calm. At least try to get a couple of people out. How about I bring you 2 boxes of pizza, 3 boxes of pizza. You let 4, 5 people go. How many people you got in there, Wild Bill? You got 6? Come on, you can give me 2. If I give you 2 boxes of pizza, you can bring me 3 people out. I know we said we're going to get you 3 boxes, but if you can give me 4 people and I bring you 2 boxes of pizza, can you do that for me, Wild Bill? Can you do that for me, Wild Bill? And Wild Bill's on the phone. He's hesitant about it. Now, right here, this is our 5. I'm telling you, it's going to be jumping around a lot. So I'm going to try to keep it, you know what I'm saying, very simple so you can follow. But this is the 5 that were at Waco. This right here is Clive. Waco number 1, Davidian number 1. So this story right here is going to be telling Clive's story. Now, if you guys remember, I was telling you, this guy right here, Dan Coggle, he's the lawyer. He's the lawyer for Clive. So each one of these, they all going to have their own representation, but this trial is going to be them all together collectively. But you can't have one lawyer representing each person because then you have a conflict of interest if somebody wanted to turn on somebody. So each one of these 5, they're going to have their own representation. Now, Dan, he's a slick talking. He going to get the job done, but a little arrogant, needs to be humble. But this is the type of lawyer you want on your side. He's going to do what it takes to get you out of there. Now, Clive, from what we've seen, Clive is just a gullible man. We're going to talk about his life story. And his belief is strong. I will admit that. His belief is strong. But Dan is his lawyer, and he's in the courtroom. You got to remember, this is 93, 94 right now. He's using one of the old Macintosh. This gentleman walks up behind him, and he's asking, hey, whatever that equipment is that you have right there, you're going to have to get that out of there. Because this is before the technology, y'all. This is before, you know what I'm saying, before cell phones, laptops. Nah. This guy's telling Dan, hey, listen, whatever you're doing, you got to get up out of here with that. And this is how you know Dan is a badass. And when I first, this is like the first 5 minutes. When I seen this, I said, oh yeah, Dan is the type of lawyer you want on your side. Dan flips off the gentleman asking him to remove the laptop from the building. He says, who told you could bring that into this courtroom? He flips him off and says, I'm a big boy. I can handle this. Little did he know he was flipping off the judge. And he told the judge, this is my court order. He flipped off the judge and the judge said, that's funny. I don't see my name on that. Where's my signature? Dan seen that. He stood up so quick because, hey, man, he disrespecting the judge, man. This is the judge's room. He ain't here flipping the judge off. No good and goddamn well. Laptops weren't allowed in the building. Not in 94. No, not in 94. Now he tells the judge, like, hey, man, all my notes are on here. Where he said, well, shit, you better get them off there because you're not going to have that in this in this courtroom at all. So as you can see, everyone has representation. But as of right now, we got 5 people. We got 5 people on deck. We got Kathy in the middle. Of course, you got Clive. You got Ruth. You got Livingstone. And the other guy, what was the other guy's name? Was it Bill? No, it wasn't Bill, I don't think. So now they're showing Clive's story. Now, Clive, he was out here. This is before David Koresh ever got here. It's him and his daughters. Clive is actually from Australia. He heard about Lois. That's who's in charge right now. She's in charge of all of this. He came all the way from Australia because that's how strong his belief was. Oh yeah, Michael, you started off bad, man. Dan, hey, but that's one thing about Dan. He's always gonna bounce back. Now here we go. Vernon Howe shows up. At this moment, he is not David Koresh. He's Vernon Howe. Now he showed up and he's looking around. He heard a couple of things about Lois and everything that they got going on out here. So he thought, if I just pack up everything, I'm gonna go out there, start fresh, become one with the Lord, and live my life the righteous way. But we don't know much about Vernon. He just shows up on a little motorcycle, a little duffel bag on the back. Who the fuck is this guy? He got a mullet, the big glasses on, scruffy beard. You looking at him like, looks like he up to no good. Wherever he is, riding in on a motorcycle like that. Lois, she sees him and immediately she's drawn to the young blood. Lois is older. She's an older woman. She sees him pull up with the mullet, hair just a flapping in the wind, dingy army jacket, motorcycle. Oh yeah. She knows what she likes here. Now, Clive, on the other hand, he only went here because of the word. Like, Clive, from what we seen, he ain't really did nothing. Clive ain't really did nothing. He was there. He thought, hey, my faith was gonna carry me through everything. So he went out there to Lois's land, and that's where he's been the whole time. But right now, Dan is talking to him like, hey, bro, you can't, all that stuff you talking about, it ain't gonna work in this courtroom, man. So they trying to get words and stuff dismissed. Because Clive is sitting there thinking, oh, it's nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing. When they came in there, they were doing the shoot. We were getting shot at. So Clive is in there like, and I wasn't doing no shooting. I was in the back with the kids. Clive wasn't picking up no gun. No, he wasn't picking up no gun. Well, that's what they say. Now, this is one of the first things I want to look at. Did the judge actually, because so this judge here, he's saying, listen, I don't want to waste any of the taxpayer dollars. I want to make sure that this trial is correct. He actually goes out there and starts handpicking the jury for the trial. This is on Showtime, Jacoby. So this judge actually goes over there and starts asking the jury questions about the trial. What do you think about people going to a cult? Now, this lady said to you, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got my own beliefs, but if you're talking about doing things with like children and stuff, then I'm firmly against it. So the judge is basically like, oh yeah, you're in here. So from the get-go, whether they're right or wrong what they did, the judge is picking the jury. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. That's kind of, he's already picking people that are gonna be biased towards the Waco Five. What y'all think about that? Have you heard of that? The judge picking the jury? So the judge said, look, I'm gonna make this quick and easy for y'all. Oh, let me see something. I can't see nothing that says if it was true or not. Cause that's something I would like to know. The judge rulings are biased also. Yeah, when he said I'm gonna go down there, even Dan was like, wait, Your Honor. Because he tried to object to this, but you can't object to the to the judge. But Guess what? Dan did this though. This is all because Dan flipped him off. When Dan flipped him off, the judge was already like, all right, fuck Dan. That probably played a part in it. And I'm thinking that's one reason why they were showing that in the beginning. Like, all right, the judge is going to be hard on him. And if you do something that fucks up his trial, his courtroom, then he's going to be on your head. So a little unethical, even though there's no such thing as a little unethical, but it's unethical. The jury's already going to be handpicked to go against everything that they're saying. But the reason they doing this also is because all the law enforcement that died down there, and they basically saying that it was a cult, and they were the ones that started all of it. Now, this shit gets deep. And that's why I say we're going to have to do a little digging of our own just to verify some of this stuff. Because I want to know what's real and what's not. But we just had the tip of the iceberg. It's about to get even better than this. A lot of shit you ain't know nothing about. The judge goes and asks the jury. The black lady said, hell no, I ain't with that shit. Basically, I'm looking at 5 of them and I'm thinking 5 guilties. Now, I ain't never been on no jury, but I don't know if I'm going to call somebody guilty. But it's looking like these 5, they might be guilty right now. The judge is telling me that they joined the cult and they got to killing and they were doing things to chilling. That sounds like guilty in my book. Let me see. But nah, I can't say that because if I get selected as jury, I'm going to be unbiased and I'm going to get all the facts. But Vernon is talking directly to Clive. Like I said, it's time jumps, but this is Clive's story right now, and they're showing how he got here. One thing that Vernon was smart at, manipulate. Now, according to them and what we're seeing here, Vernon knows the Bible inside out, but he manipulates the words to fit everything to benefit him or whatever situation is going on at the moment. So my boy Clive, he came all the way over from Australia. And when I say my boy, I'm talking about the character, not the real Clive. I don't know what they did in real life. I'm talking about on here. Clive is just gonna keep it real with you from what we see. All right. So while he's listening to Vernon, he's listening to Vernon. Vernon is telling them everything. So when Clive is explaining he came from Australia with his family to start fresh, everything that Vernon is saying is like, yeah, you're gonna have new beginnings. You always got to go out there and try. And he's relating his life to be the same as Clive. That's one reason I came here, Clive. I heard Lloyd speak and I thought that this is the place that I needed to be. So Clive is like, oh, he relates to me. He knows more than me. When it comes to the Bible, he knows more than Clive. So for Clive to hear somebody speaking like this and knowing everything to say, all the right things to say, he's going along with it. The judge seemed prejudiced against the defendants because they killed innocent people in law enforcement. Yeah, the judge didn't give him a fair chance. Now in the room, we finally get to hear the 5 talk. Now you got Clive in the back. You got Kathy over here. You got Ruth right here. And I think this dude's name was Bill. I can't remember what his name was. I thought it was Bill. But anyway, so here's how everyone's story goes as of right now. We know Clive. He's the one that met Vernon when Vernon first got there. Now, we don't know much about the rest of them, but this gentleman right here standing up, he's saying, I don't even know while I'm on trial. He wasn't even physically at the compound. When Waco was going down, he wasn't there at all. So there's no way physically possible that he ever touched a gun or shot a gun on those days, those 51 days. He was never there. So while he's here being tried with all of them, he's trying to say, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I wasn't there that day. So everyone's looking like, yeah, you wasn't there that day, but man, we all in here. So he's like, all right, look, this is what we're going to do. Right now, everything is speculation. These are like the only survivors, so no one knows what really went on in the inside. So no one can ever confirm anything as long as all 5 of them stick together and shut up. No one say anything. We good. All of our lawyers are going to talk to each other. We're all talking to each other. If we all just stay together, don't say nothing, no one can get trial. I mean, no one can get found guilty for anything because can't no one confirm it. So they already like, all right, cool. If we gonna do this, we gotta all do this. Michael Moore said, but they killed 78 people. Who killed 78 people? The feds or the Davidians? So he's telling them, all right, let's all just stick together at this moment. If we do, we good to go. That's what they always say. Whenever you get taken in, don't say nothing. Even when they go take the stand, or they ain't gonna take the stand, not that we've seen yet. But Ruth, she's like, all right, bet. Livingstone, he don't really do too much talking. And it's Livingstone, not Livingston. Because at first I thought they were saying it wrong. I thought he was joking around like Livingstone, but it's Livingstone, like legit Livingstone. Oh yeah, Michael. Hey, they gonna get into the case, man. This is good. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. These are the kind of shows I like watching too. They got those little grenades. These little things right here, these are deadly right here. My brother got a whooping in the store. We used to call them grenades and we would throw them to each other. And one day we was in the store, he threw one to me and I moved my hands and it busted open. My mama made him go to the janitor. He had to go up to the front, as one of the ladies at the register, where's the janitor closet? My mama made him mop it up. So be careful with those grenades. Now you looking at Kathy, and Kathy's hearing this, and it all sounds good, but they get a plea deal. They all got offered a plea deal. Whenever the DA offers you a plea deal, your lawyer has to tell you. If they don't, then that lawyer can get in trouble for that. So Kathy's hearing this, she's like, all right, we gonna all stick together, right? We all sticking together, right? I'm asking y'all in the chat, are we all sticking together? What we doing? We all sticking together, or one of y'all taking a plea deal? Maybe a little 10, 15 years. Y'all taking a plea deal, or we sticking together? Y'all over here acting like I'm just talking to nobody. We ain't got no interaction tonight. Got it. All right, got it. Say less, y'all. Say less. You ain't got no interaction tonight. Now I gotta teach y'all like a teacher. All right. Don't nobody got no answers, huh? Everybody better get an A on this test, then. Everybody better get an A on this test, then. All right, we all sticking together. We all sticking together. Even Clive's like, man, but I didn't do nothing either. I was with the kids. I ain't do nothing. We jump back over to the FBI side. That's what I'm saying. With this show, it just jumps back and forth. So it's like, all right, I'm trying to just give a brief overview, you know what I'm saying? So we just touch on the hot points. Now he's been doing his research because the Wild Bill situation over at the bank, he handled it, but there's still other stuff, other issues that they got to worry about because the Waco thing is going on. But now it seems like he's on the trail. He's following a couple of leads, and he's like, wait a minute, Wild Bill. What were they robbing everybody for? 21 banks, but no large purchases or anything. So this is where we're starting to find out that Wild Bill was a little into some shit that was bigger than we thought. What up, Tamika? Waco facts: 51 days siege, 4 federal agents died, 82 people total, 28 kids. Damn. Now he's following this. He went into Wild Bill's files and he found a picture with a flag with a star on it. Now this flag was waved during Waco. Wild Bill had it. This is where we find out that Wild Bill ain't just a bank robber. He's robbing somebody and he's giving it to somebody else because he's not making any lavish purchases. But this is pretty much for a church of white supremacists. That's what this flag symbolizes. So Gary's like, interesting. Would you happen to know where that is? He said, oh yeah, there was a place down in Oklahoma. I'm not too sure, but it was down there. Now Clive, he's still in jail, just like everybody. They're gonna be in here for the whole time. Sorry, he ain't getting out right now. But his daughter comes and sees him and says, hey, Dad, take that plea deal and just leave because he's saying that he didn't do anything. He was in there that day. He was in there today at Waco, but he's saying he didn't do anything. He was with the kids. He was in the back with the kids. He wasn't doing nothing. So Clive don't understand why he's on trial because he didn't shoot nobody. And his daughter is trying to, you remember the two little girls? That was his daughter. And now he's like, look, I ain't do nothing. But if I take the plea deal, I'm going to mess up what the other four got going on because we all just agreed. We all just agreed that we going to stick together. Now, his daughter don't understand this, but I see where Clive is coming from. Now, we were joking around about Diana doing 12 years. They talking about his plea deal was like 15. Man, 15 years on the plea deal ain't enough time. If I'm doing a plea deal, I need to get out by the end of the trial. Like, if I take a plea deal, I need to be getting out today. If I take a plea deal, I need to be time served at the crib. If I take a plea deal, it's got to be, I'm getting out like today. If not, I'm taking it to trial. Word to Young Thug, I'm taking it to trial. But he didn't do nothing, and he's looking out for the other people because this is what the Lord will want. See, Clive, he stuck with it the whole time, man. He believed in his faith. Now, I don't agree with everything that y'all gonna see in here, but as far as Clive, his faith is telling him, hey, you didn't do nothing. The other four didn't do nothing. Y'all gonna hold it down together. But his daughter don't understand that. But I mean, if you didn't do it, if you were in the back with the kids when something went on, are you taking a plea deal or are you taking this to trial? Be honest. Because it's a potential, hey, you're gone for life. If you get found guilty for this, you could be gone for life. But Clive a G though, man. Clive he ain't backing down, man. I made my promise to everybody. Then out of nowhere, you hear Jacob. Now, Jacob, he was also a member. He was there. He was there at Waco. Some shit went wrong for him, you know. It is what it is. But once we see him, he's just yelling and stuff, talking about, man, everything I did for y'all, and this is how everybody's, you know what I'm saying? This is how everybody's treating me. This is the things that I get. When they throw him against the wall, they get on the elevator together. And Gary's looking like, Jake, I know you from somewhere. He's like, yeah, you know me. You know me. So you want to have a drink? You can't turn down it's disrespectful. That is very disrespectful if you turn down a free drink. Are you trying to get some drink? Shit, nah, I'm good. You said what? Nah, you can't turn down a free drink. Now he starts telling his side of the story, and Gary's listening. He's like, damn. because everyone made mistakes that day. No one actually had a plan. Well, they had a plan, but it didn't go according to plan. And that's what this trial is here to figure out, what really went down that day. So when you hear everyone's story, you kind of look at them like, that's interesting. But is it truthful? Back over at Lois's house, her compound, this is pre-Waco. This is just right now, just a little house on a prairie, basically. Her son is Big Bubba. I don't even know his name. I just call him Big Bubba. But Lois is in here talking to everybody because Lois is a pretend prophet, one of those fake prophets right now. And she's the leader of everybody. And she's saying there's what? That the Holy Spirit, I think that's what she said. Well, she was. The Holy Spirit is a woman. Now, Bubba Franks, the son, is like, oh, mom is not a woman. Vernon steps up, and we know Vernon knows almost every passage in the Bible. And he starts listing off every time that it refers to the Holy Spirit as a woman. Now, Bubba Franks don't like that because that's his mama, and he don't feel like that's it. It should be the Holy Trinity is all men. That's what Bubba Franks thinks. But Vernon, he knows that Bible inside out. Vernon is saying no. Lois is it. Now, Bubba's getting a little upset because he doesn't like Vernon. As soon as Vernon got here, he never liked Vernon. Lois, we seen how she was looking at Vernon. She's like, young blood, new guy here. Let me try to get some of that. And Lois is saying, see, he's right. He's smart. He knows the Bible. But at this point, Clive is too far gone. Clive is looking at Vernon like, man, why are you messing with Bubba Franks? Man, he's big, man. He whoop on people. But Vernon, as he's been relating with Clive, he said, oh, Clive, Bubba Franks ain't the only bully I ever dealt with. Clive said, but Vernon, do you know what he will do? Vernon said, he don't know what I'm capable of either. Clive looked like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? All right, Vernon, I think it's time for you to go to your own cabin, brother. Yeah, I think it's time for you. Look at the time, Vernon. You need to go ahead and go back to your headquarters, your quarters or something. I don't want you in here. But Clive is listening to Vernon, and Vernon is just feeding him all the right answers at the right time. He's always relating it back to the Bible. So for Clive, he's thinking, man, this is pretty serious. If Vernon knows all of this and he always knows the right answer, Vernon's got to be right. Now it's the next morning. Time to get ready for this trial. Now, you remember last night, y'all. Y'all was all there with me. We said we sticking together. Well, guess what? The prosecutor comes in and he says, oh, real quick, Kathy, yeah, she went ahead and flipped. She took the plea deal. So now all of them are looking, Kathy turning on them. So now it ain't speculation. Kathy can confirm every single thing that they tell her to put them in there. And we already know that the jury was handpicked by the judge based on their beliefs on what they already heard about Waco. So with Kathy flipping, Kathy will take the stand and just point people out now. Oh, Clive did this. Clive had 3 guns. I remember that motherfucker Clive. He's a pistol with boy. Hey, sir, Your Honor, Clive marksman. I know he got 9 bodies probably in there. Oh, Ruth, you got to watch out for Ruth. I heard Ruth had a pocket knife one time. She ran and jumped and she stabbed one of the officers. Livingstone. Oh yeah, Livingstone. That guy right there, pure Brunt Street. I'm like, man, that guy right there. Plus, Your Honor, we in Texas, you know those black guys over there. I really don't know if I can trust him, Your Honor. Yeah, he the big scary black guy over there. Oh, and then the other guy, yeah, he keep telling me that he wasn't there, but I remember him there that day. Who is George to Lois? Damn, who was George? George may have just been an advisor. Like, I think George was just like one of the first people that came there with, but I don't think he was anything special with her. Yeah, I just think he was one of the elders. You know what I mean? Like one of the first people that been there and just been around for a while. But I don't think he was. George was the big guy. Oh, Kevin Whitecliff. I forgot what his name was. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I mean, there's a lot of characters. I just remember that he was the one that wasn't there. Where you at? Oh, okay. Now at this point, they just found out that Kathy, she just switched sides on him. And the trial begins. The trial begins. Now it's gonna be kind of tough for him. It's gonna be an uphill battle. But once they go in the back, everything that Dan was hearing out there, Dan basically comes in and says, listen, this is no longer an individual trial. They about to put all y'all up there, and it don't matter. Now, Kevin is saying, I wasn't there. All that speculation is out the window. Because just like we said, Kathy's gonna go up there and just point people out. Kathy was there. She gonna say, nah, I seen, come on, Clive. I seen you with a gun, Clive. Admit it, Clive. Livingstone, I seen you too. Now, Kevin, it sounds like he's free to go. But the other lawyer is saying no. Because now all she's gonna say is you bought the guns. So now they got Kevin with the illegal guns. So that, hey, you may have not been there to shoot them, but you bought the guns to supply all them, which is still gonna make him look guilty in the jury's eye. So right now it's ugly. It is ugly. And plus, they need Ruth to start wearing a dress. Ruth coming in there with that damn pimp named Slickback suit on. Come on, Ruth, wear a dress. We need you to look soft and innocent. She said, I don't wear dresses. Dan said, well, you gonna fucking wear one. You need to wear a dress. We trying to get y'all off of this. We trying to get y'all off of this. So right now it's just ugly, man. Everyone's like, damn, that bitch Kathy. How y'all think they were feeling, man, once they found out that Kathy flipped on them? Man, Kathy got up out of there. Kathy heard, oh, we get to plea deal. Hmm. Plea deal. Now, as the Vernon story progresses on, they got their little church service. You see Clive up front and center. Got his Bible out. Lois is asking a couple questions, and she ends up calling out our boy, Vernon. Not our boy, but our boy for the show, Vernon. She says, Vernon, What's on your mind, Vernon? He said, sometimes I get this urge, to have a woman's contact next to mine. Everybody's looking at him like, whoa, 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 Vernon, what are you talking about here? He said, sometimes I just want to release some of that stuff. Vernon, calm down. We are in the church house. This is the house of the Lord. Lois is saying, oh, Vernon, this is a safe spot. You don't have to be ashamed. Vernon said, I'm not ashamed. So Vernon is basically running game on everybody right now. But he's letting them know I'm just going to be blunt. Trying to smash something. And he's trying to work his way all the way up to the top. So he's letting Lois know that, hey, I've seen you peeping me. And if I say the right things, you're going to believe me, because that Bible, when he start throwing them verses on everybody for every single situation, they all looking at him like, that was crooked, but it works. That was crooked, but it works. So basically he's saying he got this temptation thing going on and he be trying to handle that. And Lois is like, oh. Once she hears this, she comes outside while they working in the garden, because we self-sufficient over here. That's what they said. They said they self-sufficient. You got to grow your stuff. You got to do everything on your own. Well, she makes an annual trip to Jerusalem, and she's saying that she wants to take young Vernon with her for studying purposes. Clive is looking like, taking Vernon? Even Ruth is looking like, because Ruth low-key is feeling Vernon also. But Vernon ain't got time for Ruth. Vernon is trying to make it to the very top. And he already knew what Lois was on. Now, Gary, he ends up meeting up with this cool agent right here. One of my favorite characters on the show, Miss Angie. Miss Angie Graham. My bad. Agent Angie Graham. Now, she's in here. She's protecting a CI. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when he comes up in here, she's hey, my bad. My damn eye. When Gary comes up in here, she ain't playing around. She, who are you? He said, oh, my bad. My name Gary, man. They sent me over here. They said you got somebody I can talk to. Now, the woman that they're in here watching is Carol. I'm in charge, D. Now, Carol, you looking at her, you thinking junkie. You're thinking a lot of things. Well, this is Wild Bill's girlfriend, but Wild Bill has been a little too wild, been putting his hands on her. Plus, Wild Bill, he tried to rob that bank. Wild Bill was trying to get a helicopter and get the fuck up out of there. But the TV ain't working in here. Gary comes in, and one thing about Gary, he don't care what you got going on in your personal life, any issues, any trauma you got. Gary is about business. So when we think good cop, bad cop, he's one of the good guys. From what we see on here, he's one of the good guys that you want to have in your corner because he's fair across the board. He admits when things are wrong. D still said, I'm from Waco too. Damn. 94. So what, you were born in 94? You were born when the trial was going on. All right. So you might be in the hospital right now. You might be on the other wing. You might be on the other wing. Uh-oh, we got a celebrity in here, y'all. D Seal 94, Waco, Texas, was in the hospital during the trial. He was just a little baby. Nah, that's what's up, though, D Steel. I never knew anybody from Waco. But he needs to come and talk to her about Wild Bill, because while they were on the phone doing the negotiation, Wild Bill kept saying, payback, payback this, payback that. Now, she ain't really trying to talk to no police, especially not the feds. And listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. She said she ain't no narc. AKA, she ain't telling, she ain't saying shit. She's not telling on Wild Bill because of his crimes. She's telling on Wild Bill because she was tired of him putting his hands on her. So it ain't snitching. She just telling she was being physically abused and wanting him to be aware. That's what she said. That's her words, not mine. I'm not making it up. Go back and watch it. She said, I ain't no narc. I just wanted to get away from him because he was abusing me. And Gary said, oh, that's nice. What do you know about payback? Have you heard the word payback? He didn't care about none of this shit. He needs to know what the hell was Wild Bill talking about when he said payback. Payback. The big payback. She's like, I don't know nothing about that. Because at this point, she's still trying to hold it down. She ain't talking to the feds. Now, this is the first time that we see Timothy McVeigh. Now, they pulling up to Elome. Elome, is that how you say it? Elome? It's in Oklahoma. But they pulling up and they got little checkpoints. And this is Timothy McVeigh. Timothy McVeigh is a guy that did the Oklahoma City bombing at the federal building. So he's showing up down here, and they're about to start linking all this into Waco. See, I never knew any of that until I started watching this. I did watch the Waco documentary on, I think, Netflix. I've seen other documentaries on it, but I didn't know that all of this was connected to each other. So now we get the ATF's perspective of how it was when they went in there that day. Now, this gentleman with the big ears, you know, he an op, he ATF, and he got a little laser pointer, so he's acting cool. He's like, yeah, you know, once we arrived on the scene, it was our task to go through the front door here, kick through there. But once we got there and on arrival, we heard dogs and stuff barking. David Koresh comes outside because he's David Koresh right now. This is fast forward to Waco, what it was actually going on. He comes outside and he's trying to tell the ATF and everybody, hey, there's women and children in here. There's no reason to do that. We'll come outside in a minute. Now, the story is from this ATF agent, when they pulled up, they started hearing gunshots go off. So he's saying that guns is going off. Them motherfuckers, the Davidians, they got to shooting at us. That's his words. Now the prosecutor's like, oh, so they were shooting at you guys first. He said, man, all I know is David Koresh came to the door, told us that there was women and children, and then he smirked and went back inside and a shot was fired. So what he's saying is David Koresh and them had this planned out the whole time. David came outside, hands up, smirked, gave a little wink, went back inside. Boom, 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 boom. The Davidians got to shooting. That's what the feds are saying. And he said one of the guys got shot. So what he did was he threw the guy over the fence, and it was him and the other guy that was shot up in the same fence where all the dogs were. Well, that's what's going on right now. And it took the paramedics like a couple hours up until the ceasefire. So there's a lot going on. But then we jump back. Now we're not David Koresh, we back to Vernon. Now they just came back from Jerusalem. This is Mount Carmel, 1983. They show back up from Jerusalem. Lois and Vernon. You see Clive. Clive is like the right-hand man. Clive gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that this place is a smooth operator. Smooth operator. But when they get back inside, Lois is like, y'all won't believe it. Listen. Oh, stop being modest over there, Vernon. You stop being modest. Vernon had a vision. Basically saying that Vernon, he might be a low-key prophet. He ain't had no vision. I saw the sun. It opened up my eyes. I saw the sun. That's what really went down over there. There was really some other kind of vision. Now, Vernon is like, yeah, it's true. I had a vision. Yep. Clive hears this and he's like, damn. Sorry, Lord, forgive me for saying damn. Clive don't do none of that cursing. Clive hears that the guy that he's the most relatable to on the compound had a vision. The guy that knows all the Bible verses had a vision in Jerusalem, the Holy Land. So you mean to tell me he went over there and he had a vision and y'all brought him back here in our presence? Clive said, man, that must have been scary to have a vision. That must have been scary. Clive could only imagine what it would be like to be like the biblical times and actually have a vision. Only prophets are having visions. So for Clive, he's hearing everything that Vernon is spewing. He's like, man, this Vernon guy, he's the real deal. He told me he could deal with bullies. He wasn't lying. He wasn't fibbing. Now, Ruth, on the other hand, Ruth is looking like, I don't know about that. And Ruth goes in the back room because she's about to pick up the suitcases because Vernon didn't stay here. He was supposed to be going back to his spot because he was tired. Lois was tired. But when Ruth went in the back, she seen Vernon back here kissing on Lois, man. And he looking at her while he kissing on Lois. He been playing everybody. Now he got Lois's old ass opened all the way up. She's loving this young buck. Whole time he just trying to become the leader of all of this. Torian said, when I first heard they were doing a show called Waco, I thought they were going to talk about the biker gang shootout with the cops a few years ago. Now, I know what you're talking about. That's why when my cousin that hit me up was like, hey, you watch this Waco show? And I thought he was talking about the documentary. It's like, nah, Showtime got a series. So I do appreciate them coming out with the series because I didn't know this backstory of how he became, like, I always thought his real name was David Koresh. I didn't know his name was Vernon. So now Ruth is looking like, wait, y'all not supposed to be doing nothing. Y'all not married. And y'all went to Jerusalem to study. What was y'all just y'all studying the wrong thing? Now Gary, on the other hand, he doing his job. Him and my girl Angie, my bad, Agent Angie. They pull up to the spot because Carol said, hey, listen, there is this little spot you can go to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead, kick it in. They might have some shit in there. They go in there. It's one of the white supremacist house. And on the wall, we got a picture. Now, this picture is down in Elone, Oklahoma. That's where this picture was taken. And it's with a guy named Richard. You can't really see him right now, but the white guy with the beard, that's Richard. They got a slave sign up in here. Agent Gary, being the detective that he is, he comes in here, he loads up the fax machine. That's old school right there. You got to put that paper in there. The fax will come through. Now, once he does it, the paper that comes out is taking aim, government land, grabbing Texas. The militants, the militia, what is it? The militia man's news letter. So right now he's looking at this and he's thinking, all these little bitty militias, they usually don't operate together. So he's looking, why would there be a newsletter down here for some stuff in Wyoming? Down in Oklahoma. A newsletter from Wyoming. So he's trying to piece it together right now. He ain't got it quite yet, but he's trying to piece it together. Now we see McVeigh, this goofy motherfucker. He over here thinking he in the military and shit. This third. He said, listen. And if you look at what they aiming at, it say ATF on here. So what he's telling them is, listen, there's an operation I want you to do, but you can't use anybody from alone. It has to be somebody from the outside. Don't you know somebody? Now, Timothy McVeigh, he's like, nah, I got it. I can do this myself. I can do it myself. He said, nah, you need somebody to do this with you, Timothy. So Tim, he hits the road. He hits the road. He has to try to recruit somebody because what they're trying to do is keep this mission away from Elohim so it doesn't get traced back to them. So he said, you go find somebody that you know and y'all go do it. He goes and gets on the phone and he's calling everybody. Hey, what's going on? Who is this? Timothy. Timothy who? McVeigh. Niggas is hanging up left and right. Left and right. I think he was calling my fourth grade teacher. You know what I'm saying? I think he called my fourth grade teacher. My fourth grade teacher said, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. I got this cool black kid in my class named Mo, man. Hell no, I ain't doing no goofy shit like that. Now that newsletter, Gary's working it now. Because Angie looked at it, she read over it, she was like, oh, let's just call him and find out. So what Gary does is he devises a plan. He gets on the phone with this newsletter. He's saying, hey, I got me a little small arms operation out here, some ammo. I'm thinking about advertising in your newsletter. What is your reach? A couple hundred people? The guy on the line started laughing. He said, a couple hundred people. Try 50,000. And we're doubling our numbers every 6 months. So this newsletter is trying to bring together all the small groups. And if you got something you want to put in there and advertise that propaganda, everyone's going to see it because it's getting faxed out to everybody. And if the numbers are doubling every 6 months, that means in 6 months, unless he's just talking about the subscription. So say if it's 5,000, maybe 10,000, so we'd be up to what, 60 next month. So they find out that this is bigger than they thought. And they ship this out to 43 different states. 50,000 people, over 50,000 people, 43 states are receiving these newsletters. So you see how the propaganda can be spread very, very quickly. Now, Angie's looking, she said, whoa, 50,000? Now, that's a lot. Now, it's up to the dream team to try to figure out well, this ain't the dream team. The dream team got OJ off. We got to call this I got to come up with a name for this team of lawyers here. The BALs. The badass lawyers. Well, anyway, they trying to figure out how are they going to approach this whole situation. How can we attack this to make R4 not only look like the victims and being terrorized the whole time, and even now, how can we approach this because they ain't playing fair right now? It's really back against the wall right now. They go back in here and they talk to the ATF agent. You remember, he said their job was they were going to pull up. They were going to be the first entry team. And they heard gunshots. But Dan's a little smarter than this. He said, okay. So you said you pulled up. They got to shooting. You heard gunshots. Your partner got hit. And you carried your partner and threw him over the fence? He said, yeah. He said, how long before the paramedics came? He said, maybe a couple hours. Now, this is where Dan gets him. Dan says, oh, when you jumped that fence, you were in the pit with the dogs, weren't you? I'm sure they were mad that you were trying to break into into their master spot. The DA said, objection, Your Honor. The judge looked and said, watch it. watch it, and everyone's thinking, okay, what did Dan just do? What Dan was doing was drawing them into that trap. The same way I do with y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, support the channel. Cash apps at the bottom of the screen. We need a help get the Waco bow off. Now I'm not saying if they did it or not, but I'm just saying we want a mistrial. We want a fair trial, Your Honor. Well, what Dan does here is says, hey, about those dogs. You remember 10 months ago during the summer, you said you said that you weren't scared of the dogs because the dogs were dead today, but how could the Davidians shoot first if you said a couple of months ago that the dog team went in first to shoot the dogs? So what they do, shoot their own dogs and then start shooting y'all? Caught his ass up in a lie. So he jumped the fence because they already killed the dogs. That was the plan, to go kill the dogs, so they wouldn't get attacked. I said, damn, Dan. He also hit him with, have you ever been on a raid where you guys, raided a house or anything? Has it been recorded? He said, oh, I can't speak for all of them. He said, have you ever been on one? He said, I can't remember. He said, that's probably why this recording came up missing also. I said, damn, Dan is good. Dan is good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was wondering where was he going. I'm over here in the jury box looking and like, where's he going with this dead dog thing? Oh, the dogs are dead because they killed the dogs. So they did fire first. They did fire first. I said, oh, y'all tried to hit us with the okey doke. I was in the jury. I was about to doze off. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was back there like, this trial boring as hell. And then I heard dead dogs, and he said 10 months ago. I said, oh. Clive and the other three, they all looking like, I told y'all they was shooting us first. We ain't do nothing. They was shooting us first. Oh, yeah, Michael, even the metal doors. Man, it's so much stuff. Hey, it is so much stuff that went on that we would have never known nothing about. I would have never looked into a trial for this. I thought they just burned the building down and that's it. The, the ones that survived are all arrested. Now, this is the end of episode 1. Timothy McVeigh is trying to get anybody that's going to listen to help him out. Now, this guy is his last resort. He's like, hey, man, what if I needed your help to do something? He said, man, what kind of stuff? Boy, I tell you, man, the Timothy McVeigh, boy, that ain't too far off, though. Man, this dude has a natural ugly face. Whoever this guy is, let me go see who he is. Timothy McVeigh. Alex Burix. Oh, yeah, Timothy. Hey, I highly advise you watch it. I knew we wasn't going to have a lot of people on here, but, man, this show was actually good. That's just the first episode. We're about to start getting into a lot more, and I'm sure episode 4 and 5 they're gonna show like, man, they about. Oh man. Now, Tori, I know who Timothy McVeigh is. I was seeing who the real who was playing them. Like, let me see if I can find the. Let me see. What y'all thinking? They did a good job with that. What y'all thinking? They did a good job with that. Let me open this window up. Yeah, when I was watching, I said, man, damn, he looked just like him for real. Boy, I tell you, man, nah, that's ridiculous right there. That's ridiculous right there. He looked like an older version in the show, but man, that's ridiculous how close that is, man. That ain't a good look. What's your claim to fame? There, I look like Timothy McVeigh. Did anybody know that he went down to Waco when it was going on before like any of these recent documentaries? Have you heard that before? That's one thing I can honestly say. I had no idea. All right. Well, that was episode 1. All right. Now we about to get back into this trial, man. It's about to be a long day. Yeah, it's about 44 minutes. Episode about 44 minutes minus the intro and the credits. It's probably about, man, you probably got about a good 40-minute show. It's good though. Damn, my bad. All right. Where we at? Yeah. We got the new depositions for all the new people that about to becoming witnesses. The DA just dropped them off for the trial that takes place tomorrow. We got to start back up tomorrow, y'all. Now, Clive, like I said, man, Clive is gullible. He don't really know what the hell's going on. All Clive knows is I didn't have anything to do with this shooting shit, man. I was there. Yes, I admit I was there, but I didn't shoot nobody. I was there with the kids, man. I was in the back with the kids. I ain't shoot nobody. So Clive is saying, hey, we did a good job in court today because they did get that one ATF agent caught the fuck up with they killed the dogs, meaning they shot first. Dan is looking at him like, Clive, no, do you know what this is right here? These 4 stacks right here, typically we get this a month in advance. We got this 24 hours before the next trial, bro. In less than 24 hours, we got to get back up in the morning and come up here. I got to read over all this shit. Now, Clive don't understand what's going on. Clive is just thinking, oh, well, we good, right? We good to go. Hell no. Hell no, we ain't good to go. You good to go back to your cell, nigga. But me, I'm not good to go. I can go out and have a drink. Now, I shouldn't be drinking that much looking over this case, but I'm gonna have me a drink because it's just stressful. But Clive, back the fuck up, man. And tell her to wear a fucking dress. Y'all stressing Dan out. I shouldn't be stressed over Dan's work because of y'all. He's trying his best to get these motherfuckers off of this. She won't put no dress on. Clive talking about we did a good job today. No, nigga, the trial. Hey, you don't win the trial in one day, man. No. Now back in 84, Lois, she been getting that wham bam put on her. She's all confused. Cause now Lois is feeling like, you make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Yeah, she been over here doing her thing with motherfucking Vernon. Vernon been doing his thing because Vernon trying to reach the pinnacle. She said, today the class will be taught to you by Vernon. Bubba Frank's talking about, oh, hell no, Ma, don't do that. Don't do that. She said, oh, he gonna do it. He know what he talking about. Sit down, George. Vernon gets up here. And at first, he's seeming humble. When he gets up here, everyone's looking like, oh, this is his first time teaching one of the lessons. He might be scared. But we start to see a master manipulator go to work. He gets up here, he starts talking. I wasn't paying no attention what the hell he talking about because I don't give a damn. But he get up here and he start talking to everybody. He's letting them know, you know, life is hard. Sometimes we're put in situations that we might not know how to handle those situations, but it's up to us to believe in the Lord and he will guide us to the direction that we need to go. Rachel, could you give my Bible? Now, this is him. This is not me talking. That is Vernon talking. Rachel is a underage, little, I think she's 14 years old. But he picks out Rachel, who wasn't anywhere near his Bible. So you start seeing this Vernon become the Vernon that we all know as David Koresh. So he picks out Rachel and says, Rachel, could you give me my Bible? So now everyone's looking like, oh, he's humble. He's got his Bible in his hand, but they aren't looking at the big picture. Why would he pick Rachel out? And now he's getting up here and he's speaking the word. And at this point, he can do no wrong. Because when that wham bam is getting put on Lois, Lois is making everyone else believe that, oh, if you guys have followed my lead and I'm telling you that he had a vision in Jerusalem, then y'all need to believe in him as much as I believe in him because you believe in me. And if you believe in me, you should believe in him. And everyone's there. They follow in their faith. And they're being manipulated by both sides. Now, Lois wasn't, from what they show here, Lois was nowhere near what David Koresh was. But this motherfucker right here, you start to see the evilness in him coming on out. That's one thing. We ain't never hear him talk about the good Lord hiding that evil. That evil's always going to be in your face. You'll always be able to see it. It's just whether you believe it. So David is up here, and George is like, ooh, Ma, I don't trust him. He's using you. You need to open your eyes. He said, oh, George, that wham bam too good for you to trick me out of my spot. I got that young buck up there. Ooh wee. But he's the only one that's been calling Vernon out since the get-go. As soon as Vernon got here, he was beefing with this nigga Vernon, man. Man, he been wanting to shoot Vernon. He's trying to tell Lois, listen, that ain't right. Don't do that. This guy ain't who he say he is. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. So it's getting crazy out there. But Agent Gary ain't never backing down. I told you, Agent Gary is, you know, we always cross-reference shows. Let me tell you something. All the other shows we watch, Agent Gary, a real life agent that was piecing this shit together. You think that they about to skate through these Ricos and all this niggas is not getting arrested? No. Gary doing his thing out here. Gary goes and talks to this guy about a little bit of information. He's like, man, if Wild Bill keeps talking about payback, the little outfit that he was running with, you should believe him, they very dangerous. Because then he starts talking about Richard, the white guy with the beard, where the pictures are taken, and it's all starting to come together that these little militias out in Elome, they trying to build a big militia. So that's what he's giving them the information on. And Gary. Gary's hearing all this, and he's slowly but surely piecing stuff together. Oh, Michael Moore, hey, Gary ain't nowhere near Sachs. Gary is He in a league of his own, man. I gotta put him in. From what I've seen in these 3 episodes, Gary is a. Let me see something. All right, Gary Nosner. Nosner, my bad. Blah blah blah. 93. Blah blah blah. Nosner was only involved in the first 25 days of the standoff. See, he was there and he knew about some of the faults that went down. All right, let's see his background. That's why I say I wanted to make individual videos on it. I'm probably still will. I'm just gonna gloss over this so we get back to the story. Although the series makes it appear as if though the FBI agent was involved with the siege the entire time, he was removed from the case 25 days into the standoff because other members of the FBI thought of him as a they were saying he was impeding on them. He didn't want them to do the aggressive. See, he was trying to stop. He's like, hey man, let's not go in there. Let's not go in there and rush him. Hey, let's get him out of there. Because remember, he was a negotiator. That's how the Wild Bill situation came up. Impediment on the aggressive road. So they got Gary to fuck up out of there because Gary didn't want to participate in going in there and shooting people up. Gary wanted to get him out. So they kicked him off the case 25 days in. He also pointed out that the agency called him into headquarters on the final day to watch the tragedy on monitors. I watched the fire, he told Time. I got angry and walked out. I got more angry than I had ever been in my life. Damn, Gary was really trying to hold it down. Okay. He retired from the FBI, writing a memoir. According to the website, he retired in 2003 after 30 years. He got his 30 years in, though. 23 years at the chief of the agency's crisis negotiation unit. Damn, so 7 years outside of that? That sounds like a hell of a career. They don't give us no information. Let me see something. See, the whole time he was negotiating that. He was trying to talk everybody down, man. What up, Brillo? See, Brillo, I like these shows because it's real life, man. We can actually go look up the real characters. It ain't no, oh, what about this theory? No, we getting the facts. We getting the facts. Man. See, when I was watching the documentary, when they were mentioning his name, I wasn't paying too much attention to it because I didn't have a character to put with it. You know what I mean? Damn, Gary was out here doing it, though. All right. Gary, a true American hero. Like I said, he ain't like nothing that we done seen on any TV shows. He's a real deal. So put some respect on his name. Now, all the other lawyers, they dip out. Dan, he's working overtime. And the reason he's working overtime is because he got these extra depositions. And he's basically the head lawyer of all of this. He's more experienced. He's been winning cases. So everybody's really looking towards him and they're going to follow his lead because as long as everyone stays on the same page, don't say anything, unless your client gets brought up, then we all going to be tried together and Dan's going to be doing the most of it. You know what I mean? Now, when he goes to the bathroom, there's a gentleman sitting over here. You always got to look out for your surroundings. Whenever you look around and you see somebody sitting in the dark by themselves and they got that yak straight and they just fucking around, playing around in it and they ain't sipping it, yeah, they up to no good. See, a true gentleman like myself, that drink would have been gone. Waitress, another one, please. But now you really know he's up to no good because what's the next thing you see after this yak? You see that Thule. Two things you don't want to see in the same vicinity, that yak and that Thule. Very dangerous combination right there. People are already dangerous on the drink. But then when you insert a gun, oh, it could get ugly. Now, Dan, he been in here working on the late night, got a couple drinks. They said he was going to try to holler at the waitress, but he did say, if it happens, it happens. He's not trying to. He just want another drink, and if it happens, it happens. He goes in the bathroom and he starts, using the bathroom. What else you going to do in there? You know what I mean? What else you going to do in the bathroom? Use the bathroom. And it ain't nothing more creepier than this. Whenever you go to the bathroom in the public, especially for men, I don't know how it is in the ladies' restroom, but for men, whenever you use the bathroom, you always going down to the last stall. You always trying to keep a space in between each other. And whenever someone walks in, you always do the glance. You want to see who the fuck came in. So you like, all right, man, hurry up over here. Who the fuck? But you hear the door. You just want to know who's in here with you. You can't trust nobody nowadays, man. Nigga get on your ass. Pause. It ain't no pause. Literally, nigga get on your ass in here. You over here peeing. Oh yeah, it could be over with. So he said, hey, I watched the trial. You're doing a good job, but you need to dig a little bit deeper. The cover up, the FBI, the CIA. And Dan's in here. He's like, hey, man, I'm using the bathroom, brother. Can you give me a second? Fucking fan. Now our boy Gordon, he ain't no fan. He's like, nigga, I ain't no fan, nigga. I'm trying to help you out, man. You need to dig a little bit deeper on this case. Now it sounds good. You making these four seem like a victim. They were a victim. They were victimized, and they still are. But you need to go harder at the government for this cover up. Now you guys are probably thinking, who is this wild man? Now I was thinking the same thing. I said, who is this creeping up on a nigga that's using the bathroom? You can't trust nobody that come in here to talk to you at the bathroom. The only time these conversations work is if you at a stall, there's a stall in between, and there's another stall. You watch this in all the damn spy movies. When there's a stall in between or two stalls, as long as you look straight and conversate, you can have that conversation. It's once you start looking over, that's when it's like, hey, conversation's done. I can't have this conversation with you. Continue to look at the wall. I don't need to make eye contact with you. But I can hear you. You talk straight, I talk straight. No one knows that we talking to each other, and we go on about our business. But it's another thing when you using the bathroom and the niggas behind you talking like, hey, bro, hey, hold on. Stop talking to me, man. Let me finish what I'm doing over here. God damn. Whew. Give me another hand when I get out here. They're going to be mad because I ain't reading all these depositions. They're going to be mad as hell tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to ask for a recess. Hey, you on a recess? Yeah. But this guy, he's like, listen. I'm not no fan. I'm telling you, the director of the CIA himself told me that they're covering all this shit up. He said, yeah, you're bullshitting. Get out of my way. Let me go ahead, do my thing, go get this trial. But Gordon tells him straight up. He says, the director of the CIA told me this. And you need to check the doors. The doors at Camp Carmel were metal. Dan is saying, no, the doors weren't metal. They burned down. The feds said they burned down. Gordon just told him straight up. The director of the CIA said they were going in there and covering shit up, and the doors were metal. They didn't burn down. So now it got him thinking. He's like, who is this random ass dude coming in here saying this to me? But he don't think nothing about it. He's just thinking it's some random person that watched the trial and they come in, you know what I'm saying? They come in there and they talking to you, they talking that bullshit. Torian said, was there a hand on hip moment in these episodes? No, this is for us. Maybe there was some moments for us when we looking at it with our hands on the hip, like, what the fuck is going on here? But for them, nah, this shit real deal. Not well, there actually is a hand on hip moment. I think I got the picture. There might be one. Well, it's semi, but we'll see if we can get there. But Gordon Noble, he hands him his card. He's like, do some research. Go at the government. Don't just talk about them being victims. Now, one day, they eating. I think this is back in 83. Vernon steps up and he's saying, I had another vision. Vernon is saying he had another vision out of nowhere. And everybody's listening to him. They're like, okay, what Vernon about to say now? He said, I had me a vision. And the Lord was telling me that one day I need to take me a wife. Now, the whole time Lois is thinking, all right, bet. We did our thing in Jerusalem. We came back. He throwing that wham bam still. They about to get married and maybe they could have some kids. And for her, it's like, oh, power couple. And that's what's going on in Lois's mind. She got the young guy that knows everything about the Bible. She got her groove back. This is about to be sweet. Now, George, he don't want no parts of that. George is like, oh, stop listening to this nigga, mama. Now, you look at Lois, you look at Ruth, and they're both thinking that he's about to pick them. Lois is thinking that Vernon is going to pick her because they didn't did all this together, and she's in charge. So she's thinking he's just going to come in right up under her. Ruth is thinking Lois is too old, plus Vernon was looking at her while he was kissing on Lois. Here comes our hands on. No, this ain't hands on the hip for us. This is, man, what the fuck? This nigga says, no, the Lord told me I got Rachel. Did I hear that correctly? Did I hear that correctly? I'm not here. I'm nowhere on this shit. I had it. I'm telling y'all what I seen on it. I ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit here. Whatever they got going on here, I'm not there. Trust me. I don't even know where Waco, Texas is. I'm just gonna be 1,000% honest with you. I'm not here. I'm telling y'all what I seen on the show. I ain't seen none of this shit firsthand. But he picks Rachel. And Lois, and this is why I say Lois wasn't, she was terrible, but she wasn't bad like this nigga, Vernon. So Vernon is lying to everybody because he had another vision, which exposes he never had a vision because Lois said, no, that ain't no vision. That's your own personal desires. That's a girl. That's a kid. You can't do that. So even Lois knew that this was wrong. So that just right there in front of everybody exposed that this nigga ain't having no visions because he's wilding the fuck out. He doing whatever the fuck he want to do at this point. And everyone's looking. They like, hey, you can't do that. That's a fucking kid, man. And George said, that's it. He said, that's it. I don't know. Lois got to be about 60 something. Shit, man. You can still throw that thing. Back in the 90s, man. Man, the 90s, do what you want to do. I guess. Lois could still have kids back then. All right, we're gonna look up Lois. We're gonna look up Lois and see how old she would have been. Lois Roden. Okay, between Austin and Dallas. All right, bet. Do we know where it's at though? See, now I gotta look up an address. Is it up north, south, east, or west of the city? Golly. Never mind. Never mind. Nah, she was 70 when she died. She was born 1916, Stone County, Montana. Yeah, so she was 70 and 86. This is 83, 84, so she's 67. She's 67 right now where we're at in the show. Damn, 1916. That's a crazy ass year right there. August 1st, 1916. No, I'm asking where was what they call it? Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel, my bad. Hey, Google, don't be hitting my computer up or nothing, man. We just trying to figure out where this was on the maps. Near Atwell. Oh, here we go. Here go the coordinates right here. Oh, so they got a little center over here. What is this center? They use this center? What is the Mount Carmel Center? Let me see where this is at. Oh, okay, so it's like to the northeast a little bit. I know ain't nobody using this, is they? Any of y'all ever been down here? Damn. Yeah, well, ain't shit out there. We know that place caught on fire. And she was 67 during this time. All right, bet. But George hops up because he's upset that this nigga Vernon, you didn't took it too far now, Vernon. That like you was playing my mom, but now you picking kids. Man, George hopped up so quick. He pulled out that motherfucking revolver. Pow, pow, pow. He got the shooting inside. And this is how they left. This is how they left. They went and put the kids on the buses. They took a select few of people and they branched off. Now, Ruth, she decides she needs to stay with Lois because Lois is old. She needs somebody by her side. Vernon tells her, I'll be back. The Lord told me I would. And then we start to hear a little bit of disturbing information from the four. The next day in the courtroom, Ruth shows up and Ruth actually has a dress on. Now, they've been asking her, we need you to wear this dress to make you look softer, to make it look like you wouldn't be the type of woman that's going to pick up a gun. Because you know, they always go off of how you look. Mm-hmm. They look at you like, uh-huh. Yeah, and if you one of us, they look at us and we automatically guilty. But now Ruth is talking about everyone that died at Mount Carmel is going to be resurrected. They're all coming back. She'd rather be free when it happens than in a jail cell. So she believes that David Koresh and everyone else that died in there is going to come back, and she wants to be free for it. Now, you look at Dan's face, and Dan is saying, I don't think they coming back, but I'm going to do my best to get you out of this. Kendall said, where were the kids' parents on the bus? I don't know, man. I guess they didn't show them all, but because when they go to the new site, we see adults there. So I guess they would just, just ran out. It probably didn't go like that in real life. You know what I mean? They probably got into an argument and everybody branched off. But for the dramatics, it just showed, you know what I mean? It just, oh man, they just got the kids. Women and children only. That's what they said on the Titanic. Women and children only. Women and children only. I don't know about y'all, but that women and children only shit ain't flying when it's life or death. Especially the women and children ain't my women. It's gonna be women and children and more, nigga. You gonna see me on the back of the boat. Women and children only. Hell yeah, women. Man. Last I checked, that cold water get on everybody ass the same way. Cold. Talking about women and children only. No, it ain't no women and children. This everybody for himself and this motherfucker. I'm gonna make sure the kids are straight that are near me, but I'm getting on that boat. I don't know about y'all, but survival kicks in for me at some point. Women and children only. No, women, children, more, and that's it. Let's go. Somebody got to make sure the women and children are good on there. I got to make sure, hey, keep it down, kids. Keep it down. All right, ladies, make sure the kids are good. Everybody huddle up, huddle up. Man, you think I'm about to stay on the Titanic with the niggas playing the violins? They talking about, Mo, what you about to do? Like, nigga, what you mean? What I'm about to do? I'm about to get on that goddamn boat, nigga. I ain't about to be up here with these niggas playing. Hell no, I'm getting on the boat, nigga. You hear the music. I'm on the boat, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? Women and children only, nigga. Women, children, and more. Let's go, let's go, let's go, nigga. You need somebody to stroke. Yeah, that's gonna be me. That's gonna be my, hey, arms don't get tired. Stroke. They talking about women and children only. What, I'm staying on here with the band, nigga, please. Y'all, hey, we just gonna be fighting on that motherfucking boat. Shit. They gonna be mad as hell, nigga. Not only am I on the boat, I'm the nigga lowering the boat. Let's go. Motherfucker letting that rope down, man. Hell no. Y'all laughing, but y'all know how it is, real life situations. Yeah, Candy, you think you about to be in that water swimming. There ain't no swimming in that water. It ain't no swimming. That motherfucking, what was his name? His name Jack? His name Jack? That water was cold as a mother. That door was big as hell. That door was bigger than these metal doors on here. But anyway, let's get back to the story, man. Y'all got me sidetracked. See, that's where we be going wrong, man. Y'all, look. No more jokes. This is supposed to be a serious show right now, man. Y'all got me over here talking about the Titanic, women and children only. Yeah. Yeah, his name was Jack, all right. That nigga was so cold, his name turned into Ack. Just Ack. What's your name, boy? Ack. He couldn't even say Jack. He could just, hell yeah, Jack was in that motherfucker frozen ham booty. That's what Jack was, straight ham booty. Talking about women and children only. I'm in this cold ass water. Like, nigga, it's cold out here, nigga. But Ruth still has a little bit of faith, and she's sticking to it. And then you forgot that card from Gordon Noble. He turns around and he asks Clive, hey, Clive, what happened to those wooden doors? Clive said, those doors wasn't wooden. All the doors were metal. So Gordon was telling the truth. He seemed a little crazy, but now Dan just confirmed that the doors that David Koresh went through were metal. So there's no way that they shot through the door and hit the agents. The door was metal. Now our boy, a true American hero, Agent Gary, pulls up to his boss, Allen. Now his boss, Allen, he's sitting in here, and after the Waco situation, he doesn't, and this is how it is in real life too. When you mess up bad like this, your public image, oh, it's terrible, man. People gonna feel certain ways, fun is gonna get cut. So ever since the Waco incident happened, Allen, he's like, hey, we need to fall back because the feds did make a huge mistake. We even seen that they got Gary off there in real life. 51 days, halfway in, they got him out of there because he was trying to do the shit by the book. The FBI was trying to go in there and just kick motherfuckers down. You know what I mean?
The FBI? Yeah, this the FBI.
So he gives Allen this book. And Allen's looking at it and he's dismissing it, saying, man, it's still a free country. Anyone can read whatever they want to read. They can read whatever they want to read. But Gary actually been doing his job, and he says, that's the problem. This is an older book, but they're sending out newsletters. Over 50,000 people. And Allen said, nah, leave it alone. Don't do anything with it. Now, Gary says, listen, I keep getting this date, April 19th, payback. Now, if something happens and they start questioning us, I'm going to have to tell Allen, I'm going to have to tell them specifically, today I spoke to you and I warned you about something potentially happening and you told me not to investigate it. So Allen's looking at it like this. Whatever he has, whatever information that he's following, we got to believe it. We got to at least follow this lead, because if not, he's going to get in trouble. If Gary goes and says, hey, I talked to my boss, Allen, and said, hey, there's a potential chance for something to happen with these newsletters, Elon, and something happens, and he did nothing about it, oh yeah, it's over with for him. He's going to have to resign. So he tells him, I give you 2 weeks. 2 weeks to try to piece together some shit, because if not, I don't care about the DOJ. Because remember, he's under investigation also. He said, I'm going to fire you, Gary. If you don't give me nothing in 2 weeks, I'm going to fire you personally. I said, oh, Lord. Let me, wait a minute, sir. You said 2 weeks and you're going to fire me? Man, I just got this information, sir. You got to at least give me a month. You got to at least give me a month now. 2 weeks to try to piece together something? If Gary does this in 2 weeks, man, he the GOAT. If Gary pieces all this together in 2 weeks, he the GOAT. If Gary does this in 2 weeks, it's only a 5-part series, so it can only be 5 weeks that we watch. Man, it's episode 7, and they just now catching one person on the RICO in power. Gary doing this shit in 2 weeks. So Allen approves it for 2 weeks, but your job is on the line. I said, that was a good move, Gary, a little bit of leverage. But that's how confident Gary is right now. Now he goes and talks to Carol. Now you remember Carol, this is Wild Bill's girl. You know, she got the swastika on her arm. But she's showing like, hey, I'm really about that. And he's saying, are you really a true firm believer? She said, nah, if I was, then I wouldn't be here drinking a milkshake talking to the feds. He said, listen, get fucking focused, girl. I need your goddamn help. You're joking and you're bullshitting. I need you to try to get back any loan. I need you to help me help you. We can protect you. Now, you already know how everybody feel. I don't need protection from the feds. She said, I don't want no protection. I can't do that. They'll kill me if they knew I was getting protection from the feds. They already want to get me because Wild Bill got jammed up, but I ain't had nothing to do with it, so they ain't came and got me. But what if they found out that I was working with you? She said, look, man, don't ever fucking contact me again. Now, Gary is getting closer and closer, and this was one of his ends right here. He was thinking, okay, Carol, I can get her, get some information about her, and I can start connecting the dots. But Carol, right now, she's holding it down. She's sticking to the G code. She even said, man, they're going to pow, pow. Man, them good old Sanyo TVs. Did y'all ever have a Sanyo? I know somebody in here had a Sanyo. Oh, they got the digital tracking over here, the Mitsubishi, boy. We had a Mitsubishi rewinder that you put the tapes in and it rewind your tapes for you. We had a Mitsubishi one. And we had one that was like a car. I didn't even know they still sold Sanyo. I always thought Sanyo was either a Sony product or like a Samsung smaller product. But Timothy McVeigh, he's over the guy's house that's interested in knowing what Timothy's talking about. But Timothy is saying, listen, that could have been one of us in there. That could have been your wife, your kids. We need to do something for that. And right now he's brainwashing them. He's looking at it. He's watching everything get burned down. But this is because McVeigh has been in his ear this whole time, telling them and feeding them shit, feeding them shit, feeding them shit. McVeigh talking all that military shit and how whites are so much better and what they're doing there is just the beginning. Next, the government's going to turn on us. So McVeigh is just feeding his head with bullshit. And now he's starting to believe all the bullshit that McVeigh is talking about. So he turns to McVeigh and says, whatever you're down with doing, I'm in on it too. So now McVeigh has his partner in crime. All right. Season 3. Season 1, episode 3. I apologize. We down in San Antonio, Texas, 1994. Are we good? This is a cool little pace for these. About an hour 10 per episode. That ain't bad. And we still getting a little bit of informative information. That's cool. That's cool. We good at this pace? Said I was 5 at the time. Oh man, I was thugging it. Yeah, my bad, Kendall. I won't even say season 1. Just episode 3. But yeah, you're right. Season 1, episode 3. I got season and episode mixed up. 94, man. 94 was a good year, man. 94 was a good year. Let me tell you. I'm trying to think, man. What was I doing in 94? I was what, 8? No, 9 and 94. Yeah, good times, man. Let me tell you. Hell, I think I may have been locked up at this time. Was I in San Antonio? No, I may have been in Leavenworth. I don't know. But we down in San Antonio, Texas. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Bad, cool. We on a cool little pace. That'll work. That'll work. These episodes ain't that bad though. They not a long watch. Like you said earlier, it's probably on like 40 minutes. But they do give a lot of information. I'm just giving like the key points, and I ain't really gave. When it comes to true stories, it's kind of hard to come up with stories off of that. You know what I mean? I want to know the truth. I'm not trying to really bullshit it too much. You know what I mean? But now we got the story of Livingstone. Yeah, Livingstone. Jeez Louise, man. Livingstone, all we see him doing is reading his Bible. Every time you see him, he's reading his Bible. Now we see his backstory of how he actually ran in to Vernon. This is over in the United Kingdom. I think it was 83. I think this is 83. Now Vernon is traveling the world, spreading the word. Of course, he knows that Bible inside out. He can manipulate that Bible to make you believe anything that he's saying is the right thing at the right time, at the perfect time. Livingstone comes in here and he's looking, he's listening. And this is a college here that teaches you about church, you know. It's giving you the religion, it's giving you the word. And that's one reason why Vernon is here. And Vernon is smart because Vernon knows that Livingstone knows a lot of information about the Bible also. And we see these two going at it using Bible verses. Vernon asked him, what do you believe? Do you believe that it goes this way? He said, it depends on how you interpret Revelations. So now Vernon is looking like, oh, Livingstone, equal IQ when it comes to that Bible. So in his mind, he's automatically thinking, I need someone like this that's just as good as me on my side. Because if I can get somebody that has just as much knowledge as me, when I say something and he vouches for it, or he goes against me and shows people like, hey, there's another way to looking at it. This right here is an advantage for Vernon because now it's looking like, damn, Vernon might be a prophet because he's bringing in all these people that know just as much as him. Now, he's the only prophet. Everybody else is supposed to be his royal subjects, put it like that. So now Livingstone is listening. He's like, okay, David knows a little bit. Well, he's Vernon at this point. And Vernon is saying, hey, come down to Texas. We got a little piece of land, the promised land. Come on out there. See how we living. And just see if God is there with us. Now, Livingstone is thinking, man, I'm in the UK. You really want me to go down to Texas? And you ain't talking Houston. You ain't talking Corpus Christi. Yeah, I'm trying to go down there real quick, see something happen. You ain't talking Dallas, Austin, Saytown. You ain't talking none of that. You talking about Waco, you say? He said, yeah, just come down there 1 or 2 weeks and see how it is. See if the God is there. See if God is there. Come on, Livingstone. Livingstone's looking like, I don't know. But then there is still a part of him that's intrigued. Like, man, this dude knows a lot. Maybe I should go see what he has going on. Now, once he arrives, you remember, they hopped in the bus and they left Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel's over there with Lois, Ruth, George. And he's looking around and you hear Vernon say, yeah, it's kind of like the biblical ages, huh? We have church here on this bus. It ain't much. It don't look good, but we have church here on this bus. We get a word. And out of nowhere, Clive shows up. Now remember, Clive and Livingstone are on trial together. And guess what Vernon did? Vernon already came back and told everybody, hey, I got a guy named Livingstone coming. He knows just as much as me in the Bible, if not more. So Clive, he's already been following everything that Vernon said. Remember, he left Mount Carmel and came over here with him. He was the bus driver. So now he's telling Livingstone, he gives him a hug because he believes Vernon so much that Livingstone came because the Lord told Vernon to go get people and bring them back. And he just brought the smartest person that Vernon knows. Now, Vernon is telling everybody, oh, Livingstone, he's the smartest guy I ever met. So now they thinking if he's smarter than Vernon, Vernon has the vision. We got the perfect combo. That's that 1-2 punch right here. But see, Clive, we've seen his character this whole time. He's just following his faith. And right now, it looks like mind control. He's manipulated. Vernon got everybody right where he wants. Now it's going to take a little bit for Livingstone, and he's looking at it like, okay, it's all right. Now back in his cell, remember, this is 94. We fast forward to the trial. Livingstone is in here reading his Bible. That's all he does is read his Bible. I don't want no problems. I ain't going to say nothing to nobody. I just want to read my Bible. The guard comes in and says, hey, you need to get up so I can strip search you so you can go walk the yard. He said, for what? He said, because you got to. He said, well, fuck it. I don't want, well, he didn't say F it. But he basically said, look, I'm not trying to get up and go walk the yard. If y'all got to strip search me, I'll just stay in here and read my Bible. Now, the officer ain't trying to hear none of that. He pulled out the baton. Whenever you hear that, you know it's an ass whooping followed by it. Now, Livingstone ain't trying to go out and walk the yard because he don't want to be strip searched. I understand. I just got dressed. I ain't trying to get strip searched. Plus, I ain't trying to get strip searched, nigga. So he's in here and he's reading his Bible. But the guard don't care. The guard get the whooping ass. Mr. Dan. So you know all the lawyers, they meet up. We got our little restaurant. We're going to go post up. We're going to chill there. And he starts talking about Gordon Noble. Now, this guy is saying Gordon Noble is crazy, but he's connected. I forgot who he said. Was it Hoover? No, I think. Did he say? I forgot who he said it was. Was it Hoover or? Anyway, he released a photo. It was either a president or like a FBI agent. I mean, like one of the top ranking guy officials. They were in a dress. They saying that Gordon Noble was the one that released that photo. Now he's crazy, but he's connected. And if he says he knows something, then he knows something. He knew about the doors. They were metal. He knew about that. He was right. So now they find out that somebody is about to testify and take the stand, but they're taking the stand and they're pointing out Livingstone was the one that shot him. Now, remember, they're all doing this trial together, all four of them. But this is the first time that one of them is individually being called out for doing something. J. Edgar Hoover. All right, there we go. Yeah, Hoover. was some wild times back then. It was the Wild Wild West. But yeah, he's seeing Livingstone is the one that's about to get called out. Now, we already said that they're going to have to try to take a different approach because they in Texas. So using the racist route, that's not going to work. So what Dan is telling them is, hey, look, we take the L on Livingstone. We don't make it racial because that's not going to work down there in Texas. In Texas, they don't give a fuck. So we just got to take a L on that. If they call them out on it, cool. We just got to deny everything else and continue on with the trial and try to figure out how to backdoor somebody. But Rocket is saying, no, that ain't going to work because this is my client. He got the only black guy. And of course, he want to use the race in his favor because we're going to find out why. But everyone is saying, nah, you can't do that because it's not going to sum up everybody when we looking at the big picture. Now, Kendall, they said that was they said it was dismissed. It was a rumor. Like they never had a picture or anything, but you know, hell, they could have covered it up. Let me see. The Washington Post says the story was dismissed by historians. Let's make up an email. We're going to put Dan the Man at gmail.com. Agree to the terms. Email Dan the Man and let me continue reading. Damn, Dan the Man, you already got an account? Hey, who is Dan the Man at gmail.com? We trying to make a fake account here. Dan the Man already got an account at Washington Post. Man, what are the odds? What are the odds that there's a Dan the Man at gmail.com with an email address attached to the Washington Post? But Dan goes with Rocket to go meet up with Livingstone. And then they're talking to Livingstone. And he didn't got beat on by the guards. And he's saying, listen, I'm already found guilty. There's nothing we can do in this. Now, Dan went to a Catholic school. And he starts using a little bit of the things he learned that he never thought he would know. He starts talking about Paul took an appeal to buy some time so he could preach to people in jail, get the word out there, have some people on his side. So that's what he's trying to tell Livingstone. If you're going to really go by the Bible, then even the Bible used the legal system. But it ends up being that he had an alibi. Now, they said that Livingstone shot this officer on the north side of the building. But Livingstone was on the south side with Clive and the kids. Now they asked Livingstone, so you didn't shoot anybody? He said, I didn't say that. He was shooting niggas, but he didn't shoot that cop. He wasn't on that side. So right now they have an alibi for him. And it's like, all right, cool. We can go with that. We got to talk to the judge though. But Livingstone, he don't want to fight through this. He feels like the Romans is coming. They about to cut his head off. It's over with. There ain't no coming back. But Dan said, I will not let this trial go down like that, Livingstone. Give me a chance, and I will do what I can do. Barry, on the other hand, is in D.C., so he flying all around. He was at the ATF office in Oklahoma. He out in D.C. He needs everything he can get on a loan. You see, Timothy McVeigh had visited there several times. Whenever you see this big boat, that's when you know Timothy's in the area. But then they get a picture of Richard. Now, he went to Elome a couple of times and he was speaking to everybody and letting people know this is what they need to do. This is how you get right. So he's piecing things together. Remember, he has 2 weeks, so he's working overtime. In the courtroom, Livingstone don't even pay attention to the trial. Livingstone comes in here. He reads his Bible the whole time during the trial. He already feels like it's over with anyway. But when they go up to the judge to get the motion in, talking about, hey, we have an alibi for Livingstone. I mean, it's a swing for the park. You know what I'm saying? For the fences, you're trying to knock that out the park. But he tells the judge the alibi is with another member on trial. The judge said, I'm not going to waste the tax dollars or the people's time allowing y'all to use an alibi by another person that's on the trial that could lie for that person. So right now, the alibi with him being with Clive is not going to hold up. The judge said, no, it ain't going to happen. So this guy's going to have to get up there and testify, the ATF agent. Clive is looking like, God, leave. What? Well, he was with me and I didn't shoot nobody. Now, you remember Vernon said that God told him he's going to come back to Mount Carmel. Didn't say when, but he would. Now, they said that Lois wants to come back and squash this little beef, and you see him pulling up with Rachel. Remember, Rachel was underage and he impregnated her. But right now, Lois is trying to link the communities back together with each other up under one roof. So they come back, and of course, Vernon is still out here manipulating. He got the game exactly where he wanted. Lois shows up and she tries to shake his hand, but instead of shaking her hand, he hugs her. He drew her right back in, and you know she old and decrepit. She over here, she got a hug of Vernon, even though Vernon been fucking up, and that's why you kicked Vernon out. Once he hugged her, Lois's old ass was ready to throw that thing back on this young man. She just disregarded all the bullshit he was doing. She just wanted somebody back. So Lois is just as bad as this nigga fucking Vernon. Now everyone's sitting out here and they're eating. And he gets ready to pray over the food. And he's letting everybody know, you know, Moses, let my people go. He freed the people from the Pharaoh. Parted the sea. They crossed that sea. Parted the sea. And she's saying, you know, I think I'm opening Mount Carmel back up. I'm going to allow all the Davidians to come back to Mount Carmel up under my guidance, meaning she's still going to be in charge. Now, that didn't sit well for Vernon. And Vernon said, listen, I'm going to come back to Mount Carmel on my time. The Lord told me I'll be back, but he didn't tell me I was going to be back up under your conditions. Basically, he's saying when I come back to Mount Carmel, I'm going to be the top man in charge. Okay. None of that up under nobody. No one's guidance. None of that. So he tells her until Mount Carmel gets rid of the Pharaoh, he ain't coming back. He compared himself to Moses and he freed his people away from the Pharaoh. So until the Pharaoh comes, disappears, he's not bringing the people back to Mount Carmel. So she hops up because she realizes that this nigga done played her again. But not only did he play her, he did it in front of everyone she brought with her. So now they're looking at her like, damn, Lois, you were kind of like the Pharaoh over there. You did have the game sold up like that over there. This nigga Vernon was on another level. When it came to manipulation, I don't know, man. This is a sick fuck. But everyone's listening to it and they're just putting up with this shit. Now Lois gets up They tell the Pharaoh to get the fuck out of here. She said, Ruth, let's go. She said, nah, I'm staying here. I'm staying here. Because everyone's looking at Lois like, damn. In 78, you was a woman, homie. What the fuck happened to you? They looking at Lois like, nah, you old news. We gonna rock with Vernon. Because now Vernon, he got all the leverage. He got all the power. So everything he's saying is trumping whatever Lois was spewing. So they all believe in this nigga. And plus, we know that Ruth was peeping out Vernon the whole time when we was back at the old Mount Carmel. So she like, I'm gonna stay here because remember when he was looking for a wife, she thought it was gonna be her. So she's looking at it like I could still give me a chance. Now I'm not sure if that's what's gonna happen in the next episode. I don't know how involved she was with him, but that's what it's looking like. Rocket and Dan, they finally meet up with Gordo. Not Gordo, Gordon. Damn, all these names. So Gordon pulls up in the DeLorean because they got to meet up with him. He did give some valuable information that no one would know unless they really got that. Unless they really got that information from the CIA director. They hop up in the whip. And while they're driving, he's nervous. See, Kendall always says, Mo, you nervous, you suspicious. What's he doing? He's speeding. He said, where you follow? I don't know. I'm just gonna drive like I was. He dipping out. He's a private investigator. That's what he does. But now he starts pulling out more and more information about the cover-up at Waco. He's saying none of the bodies got a proper autopsy because when they all got brought in, the police headquarters or wherever they were doing the autopsy at, the power went out. So none of the bodies were thoroughly reviewed. No one knows what really happened to those bodies. They also tell us that somebody was shot, drugged back into the burning building, and their arm was severed from their body because a tank ran over it. Did any of y'all know that? That somebody was shot, thrown back into the building that was catching on fire? We need to verify and see if that's real. See, that's the kind of stuff. So now he's saying, listen, this is a big cover up. And then before this, he said, man, I hate the ATF. He said they arrested me 4 times in New Orleans because I bombed this church 4 times. Dan said, did you do it? He said, yeah, I did, but it was a misunderstanding. I was just trying to get the New Orleans fair to come down to New Orleans. So he was bombing a church 4 times to get the New Orleans fair to come down there. He was trying to get rid of that bullshit that they had so they could bring the fair in. He said it was a misunderstanding. Man, Dan heard that information. He hopped about the car, but the information that he was given was real. We about to see. Let's see. Let me see. See, I'm gonna have to do a little digging on that. So I don't see nothing on it. Yeah, I don't see nothing about those, but I wonder if that's real or not. Yeah, can they say it's a misunderstanding, man? He was just he was just trying to get the New Orleans fair. I had to turn the captions on. He said the New Orleans fair. He did that thing 4 times. Where it started? How did the Waco stand off? Who started the fire? Yeah, I don't see anything about that. Let me see the Mount Carmel Waco trial. You know, PBS will give us some information, but they probably just gonna give us the basic information. We need to know about this damn autopsy. Nobody knows who shot first. It's kind of like the Revolutionary War. We don't know who shot, or the Civil War, or whatever one it was. David wasn't his real name. Told his followers he was the Messiah. Or he said he was the goat, didn't he, or the lamb. The FBI slipped listening bugs into milk cartons they sent into the compound. Two FBI teams, but they ain't giving us nothing to work with. Well, look, the FBI told Attorney General Janet Reno that children were being abused at Waco, even though it wasn't true. Damn, boy. Look, everybody out here bullshitting. They talking about the FBI was over here lying. Well, I mean, I seen that when they did the tear gas. They were saying the kids are being abused. You gotta go in there now. Damn. It's a lot of shit we'll never know all about, but Gordon gave him some more information and we back on to the trial. Now, I don't remember this guy's name, but he's saying that he's seen Livingstone shoot him. And if it wasn't for his vest, he would have been dead. He said one of the bullets came from the side, went up through the back, came out his back, hit the plate, and then went back into his back. That's what Young Thug was saying, the back of the back. Now, doing this, Gordon shows up. Now, we know Gordon is wild and crazy. He just gave them information last night. And since he's been spot on, Dan is like, what do you need, man? What do you need? He said, look, I got this report right here. You know what I'm saying? It was the lineup directly from the sheriff. Read what it says down here in the bottom part. It said unsure. Couldn't remember if I recognized him from Mount Carmel or off of TV. So Gordon is saying, I'm telling you, I keep giving you information. I'm telling you. So once he comes in, he gives this information to Rocket. Rocket takes it to the judge and says, hey, judge, look at this. Look at this. It's saying he didn't remember who it was. And the judge is saying, how do we know that this is real? Well, he pulls out a signed affidavit by the sheriff down there in Texas. See, Gordon is really doing his job. So excuse me, the judge is looking at it like, well, I mean, shit, it's a signed affidavit. This is real. Let's see. The prosecutor's like, damn, all right, you got me. All right, I'll remove that objection, sir. Now, this is where things take a little turn. You remember, they were already telling Rocket, we can't make this trial a racial trial. It's not going to work for all of us collectively. Let's just take this L and we move on. You know, sometimes you gotta take an L if you want to win. So if we just take a little hit on this, yeah, I know it's your client and this could potentially put him in some danger. But if we can get the rest of the story, everyone should cooperate with each other and we make it one, you know what I'm saying? A little bit here, a little bit here. When you got a puzzle, you take a little bit from over here, you start something. You take a little bit over here, you start something. You try to do the edges, then you do a little bit on the inside. Oh, okay, this look like, okay, I'm getting this right here. And then I take your section. Hey, you got your section? You got that corner over there done? Let me get that corner. You got your corner done? Let me get that corner. I got these two down here. Oh, you got that in the middle? Hold on. Oh, we can just slide that right here. Yeah, you might take an L, but listen, if we work together, we can make this happen. So Dan is looking like, all right, cool. We got this. Please don't fuck this up, Rocket. Fuck this up, Rocket. Please don't fuck this up, Rocket. Everyone put please, Rocket, in the chat, man. Please, Rocket. Please, Rocket. Get it right, Rocket. Please, Rocket. Please, Rocket. I'm gonna grab me another drink. Y'all put please, Rocket, in there. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. The trial is on. Livingstone, he's facing life. Dan wants to make sure that Rocket is doing his thing. We should be good to go, man. I'm gonna be right back, man. I'm gonna be right back. Good old Rocket. Come on, Rocket. Come on, Rocket. Get this thing right, man. Talk to him, Rocket.
I won't obey. You cannot tell me what I cannot say. I'm here to last, so yeah, I'm here to stay. I'll live each second like my final day. You can't take that away. Yeah.
And that's exactly what Rocket did. You cannot tell Rocket what he cannot say. This nigga Rocket went up there and made this shit a racial trial. I said, Rocket, he just told you, nigga, don't do that shit. Rocket get up there. Rocket doing his thing. He said, wait a minute. So you said that there was 3 people that shot at you, 2 white guys, 1 black guy, right? Why didn't the 2 white guys be identified? He said, oh, well, I don't know, but I know for sure it was him. But if you look at this paper, it says you weren't sure if it was him, if you didn't recognize him from Mount Carmel, or if you knew him from television. So you just picked the black guy out. Then he started digging into what they were doing about the agency got sued because the black officers felt like it wasn't a safe working environment. They were uncomfortable with the jokes that the white people were making because you know that they were racist. So Rock is, if this was like an individual trial, okay, cool. But Dan already knew how it was going to be down here in Texas. He said, don't make it a racial trial. We just got to take this L. So now he's standing up. They're going to believe the police officer that got shot is pointing at the black guy saying, yeah, it was him. Regardless of whatever the fuck he believed, it was him. I was a police officer. They killed all those people in there. They killed my fellow officers. It was him, the black guy. So everyone's looking and they like, this nigga Rocket, bro. They just told Rocket, don't make it a racial trial, man. We got to say that we were the victims, man. What we were going to do is we were going to spin it. Yeah, they were defending themselves. They may have came in there or something like that. We could spin it that way. This nigga Rocket said, no, they sued you guys because you're racist. Livingstone is in the back. Livingstone. Livingstone's back there shaking his head. I told you niggas the Russians were coming. Not the Russians. Who the fuck is this? The Romans is coming. God damn it. This nigga Rocket got up here and started getting emotional. He said, oh, you're just choosing my client because he's black. You said you didn't know who it was. He got up and said, I don't give a fuck what I said. He shot me. The black guy, he shot me. Look. Ruth is looking like, oh, this nigga. Glad he ain't my lawyer. Glad he ain't my lawyer. Yeah, when he said that, the black one was looking like, the black lady, the one that was talking that shit earlier, she said, wait a minute. Because right now, it don't sound like Livingstone has done anything. Y'all talking about the people, the boys, they were racist over there? Yeah. Because I know I ain't gonna lie to you, if I'm in the jury and that motherfucker said he couldn't remember if he recognized them from the shooting. If you don't remember him from the shooting, or if you remember him from TV, that right there automatically tells me, oh, this nigga lying. He lying. Oh, I'm not believing that. What up, Ashley? Hey, it's a pretty cool show. It's 3 episodes out right now. It's a 5-part series. So he hops up and says it was that black guy right there. That I thought he was gonna say nigger. I ain't gonna lie. When he stood up, I thought he was gonna say that nigger right there. I was gonna say, okay, cool, we gonna get this dismissed. Man, he said, nah, fuck that. He shot him right there. That black. I said, damn, Rocket. I was rooting for you too. I thought, I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching this, I was thinking Rocket was like, everyone told him not to make it racial. I thought he was about to have some kind of breakthrough right here. Didn't you? I thought it was going to be a feel-good moment. Like, yeah, Rocket did that shit. They didn't believe in Rocket. No, it backfired. It backfired. Michael, you be doing all these names. Agent Halliburton. I just remember he got up there and said the black guy did it. But Gary goes to talk to Richard. And Richard ain't really giving too much information because Richard is about to die. And he's going to die on April 19th. And he keeps telling them, "You gonna see how we living. I can still smell them in there. You smell that? That's your fault. The FBI's fault." Now we know Gary ain't one to sit around and have a lot of he say, she say. No, no, no. I need to get the information I need. I got a strict schedule. I got 2 weeks or I'm losing my job. What information do you know, Richard? Richard said, "Oh, don't even worry about it. We're gonna be eating like we supposed to. April 19th, man. Payback, revenge." And he said, "Plus, all the people's blood in Mount Carmel, it's on your hands. It's on your hands." Now, we know Gary was there for the first 25 days, and it wasn't on his hands. Gary got fired from that spot. Well, he didn't get fired. They just relieved him of his duty because he was the only one trying to do the shit by the rule book. He was trying to do it peacefully because in the trial, they also said, "Hey, was there any other plans for when you showed up?" There was no plan B when they showed up. And the reason there wasn't a plan B is because they were going in there thinking that they were just going to release everybody. They actually called it Operation Showtime because they were playing around. Operation Showtime, but that's the ATF once they got there. But the initial plan was to have 100 Happy Meals. We were going to feed the kids. Everyone was going to come out peacefully. None of the kids got a Happy Meal. And 51 days of shooting went down. Well, it wasn't whole 51 days, but you know what it is. So right now, Gary's listening to it, but now he knows something is serious. There's a serious threat somewhere. And he says, "My last meal, that'll be the best day of my life." So he's talking to the guard because he got up out of there. The guy was getting annoyed. And he's asking the guard, he said, "Man, what is this? What is his last meal? Why you keep talking about that last meal?" He said, "Oh, he ain't gonna have no last meal." He said he don't want no dinner. He said he wanted a TV so he could watch the news. Watch the news. And he dies April 19th. It's got Gary thinking, April 19th. April 19th. I'm not sure. But Dan goes up and he's talking to Rocket. You know, we got to hit the bar back up. Rocket's feeling a little down and out because he did exactly what they told him not to do. Don't make it a racial issue. And Rocket's like, "Man, I messed up." Now, you still need encouragement because one mess up ain't going to stop nothing. You got to continue on. And that's what he's trying to do. Give him that encouragement, that motivation. Listen, that's one of your strengths, your passion to try to help your client out. You went above and beyond. You got a little emotional. Yeah, we got to dial that back a little bit. But that passion right there, you need that. You fighting for these people's lives. So Dan, he's going to keep it real with you also. You see, he ain't sugarcoat nothing for none of them when it came down to her wearing a dress, to them taking this to trial that they're going to have to stick together. It's no longer a he say, she say. They got somebody that's going to agree with everything they said. So we got to get serious. So now he's still down and out because none of the other lawyers really want to fuck with him right now because he potentially messed it up for everybody. Remember, they're getting tried together. It don't matter what you did individually. If a couple of y'all did some shit, then we gonna just throw all y'all in there. So now the lawyers ain't talking to him, and he's feeling down and out, talking about maybe we should go look for the second shooter on the grassy knoll. And Dan is saying, "Yeah, but nigga, we need to be getting focused." Now Gary's back out and about, and who's he beat up with? Carol. Remember Carol's Wild Bill's girl. Wild Bill robbed the bank. Wild Bill had a lot of money, 21 consecutive banks, no fumbles. 22nd, got jammed up. But he comes to talk to Carol and he's asking her about April 19th and what has she heard? What does she know? Did you ever hear April 19th? She's saying, yeah. He's like, how do you know you heard of April 19th? She said, because it's the same day as my mama's birthday, Gary. So Gary's like, okay, she's serious now. He said, what about Elon? Can you get back in Elon? Do you know anybody down there? She said, I'm not going back down there. Man, them motherfuckers is crazy, Gary. They're crazy. And he's saying, like I said earlier, we can help you. And then right here, this is when I knew he had got her. He said, we can pay you for this information, right? The FBI can drop that bankroll off. The FBI can give you that bankroll for a little bit of information. She said, how much money we talking? That nigga gave that little grin, said, I knew your broke ass would come back around. I knew your broke ass would come back around. So Carol's hearing this. Oh, money. Money make the world go around. Ain't that what they say? How much was the FBI paying informants in 1994? FBI informant in 2014 received $96,000 for his work in the Newburgh 4 case. Nasim Khan collected $230,000 following a counterterrorism sting in Lodi, California. The FBI Department of Homeland Security, in a course of 20 years as an informant for the DEA, IRS, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, Alex Diaz made $4.9 million in 20 years. $4.9 million in 20 years. Y'all with it? Y'all down for the cause? The FBI, the IRS, Department of Homeland Security, DEA, they call you up right now. Listen, 5 million, 20 years. What you doing? You taking that? Y'all taking that deal? What y'all doing? Y'all taking that deal? Every year you're getting about a quarter. Okay. Nah, this ain't ratting. This ain't ratting. This is a federal job right here. You are a federal informant. You just giving information. You ain't telling on nobody. You ain't ratting on nobody. You doing your job. You know what I'm saying? You doing your job. That's all. This is just a job here. This is just a job here. This is just a job here. We gotta get that ratting stuff out of our mind, man. This is just a job here. Not saying I would do it, but it's just a job. It's no different. It's no different. You know when people call your house, they talking about your bills is late. Yeah, they telling on you. They reporting your shit to the IRS. They reporting your shit to all the credit unions. Yeah, your credit take a hit because they didn't call and said you behind on payments. So are they snitching? Are they snitching? If I'm a teleworker, hello? Yeah, this is Mo over at I forgot the company name. Hold on, man. Yeah, this is Mo over at your internet provider. It says you 3 months late on your payments. Do you have a reason for this? And are you gonna make that payment? 3 months late. Yeah, 3 months late. This ain't right here. They telling me this is, oh yeah, my bad. This phone call is recorded, but you need to pay this money or I'm reporting you to the motherfucking to the boys, okay? Does that make me a snitch because I'm doing my job? I'm just reporting that you ain't making your payments. That's all I'm doing, but it'll get you in trouble. I'm just trying to see, like, where do we draw the line at? Because if that's the case, you call my house and I'm behind on some bills, man, you a snitch, man. But she heard that money. She said it is what it is. Now, the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma, we see Timothy McVeigh and his partner. They pull up. They hop out. They look up at the building. There's some fucked up people, man. You know, growing up, I never knew, like, when we seen it, it was the side of the building. I never knew how big. I was thinking it's like a little van or something. I didn't know it was a whole rider truck. Oh yeah, Kendall. Man, if I worked at one of them like telemarketing, I gotta call somebody and tell them they behind. Hello? Yeah, man, this is Mo over at they gave us a script. Give me a second. Oh yeah. Hello, my name is Mo. You are delinquent on your bill here at insert company name. Oh, my bad. I wasn't supposed to say insert company name. I was supposed to insert my company name. I don't know why they just don't put our name here. Why they didn't put our name on here? Why did it say insert company name on here? Well, anyway, this is Mo here over at Southwestern Bell, and we're looking at your account here, and it says you've been behind on payments, and it's been 4 months now. Yeah, I know I'm behind a little bit, but I kind of, man, I sent in a note. Let me see something. I don't see no notes in here. It don't say that you put in any notes. It said you behind 4 months, sir. I don't think you heard me the first time, but it's behind 4 months. And just for your record, this is being recorded, so I'm letting you know you were behind 4 months. Yeah, I know I'm behind 4 months, but could you just do an extension? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If I could, I would. Nigga. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got you, but unfortunately, you 4 months behind. If you was 1 month behind, I got you. I could do that. Hey, I'll put the note in there. Hey, he said he needs to defer for another month. But nigga, you behind 4 months. Plus, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I shouldn't even be saying this because this shit's recorded. My supervisor is right down the thing. And I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to keep it cool with you, but you raising your voice with me. I can only do so much for you. Nah, I got you, bro. I can knock off one of them months. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can like, yeah, I just got rid of 1 month, nigga. You just 3 months behind. Do what you need to do. But dog, if I gotta call back over here, I gotta report your ass. And this time I ain't playing. Oh yeah, man. Eric said the building is a museum now. It's a museum about the about Mount Carmel. They need to tear that shit down. They don't need no museum. We got documentaries. We don't need no shrine out there. Tear that shit down. Well, I guess it's for all the people that died. Well, I mean, it was kids out there. Let me not say that. Let me take that back. I apologize. There were kids, innocent kids out there. So I can see, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I was just thinking about the whole caress aspect. My bad. I apologize. That's me. I jumped the gun there. Oh, you talking about the Oklahoma City bombing? Oh yeah, I know that's a memorial. Yeah, I know about that. But fuck all that. Carol, bring your ass in here. Get this motherfucking wire put on. My girl Angie. I don't know. I like Angie. Angie kind of cute to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Agent Angie, double A. That's what I call her. What up, double A? What up, Mo? Oh shit, nothing. You know what it is. She says, huh, get his letter to my pops in case something happens. And he trying to tell her to go in there and how to be calm. She's like, how many drugs have you bought before, Gary? He said, none. She said, well, shut up then, Gary, and take this note. Look at Angie. Angie's like, man, if you just don't take your little snitching ass in there and get us some information, Angie don't give a fuck about what's in that note. Angie want to get home. Angie didn't prepare to do no overnight sting. She wasn't, man, look, Gary, you got to do this shit on your own time. She goes up in the house, and of course, there's nothing but a lot of white supremacists in here. This ain't my type of party. Y'all not gonna see me around this. No. Not I, said the cat. But she comes in here and she's wearing that wire, and you can tell that she's kind of awkward. When she comes in here, when you watch the episode, she's gonna be yelling, and she like leaning forward, like talk a little louder into the microphone. Hey, you remember me? Wild Bill's girlfriend. We were getting fucked up. Now they playing quarters. You gotta flip the quarter into the drink, well, into the like the shot glass. I mean, I don't know. I don't really play no drinking games like that. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like an adult, I just sip my drink. But they playing little drinking games. They having a grand old time, I guess. She's like, hey, you remember me? I'm Wild Bill's girl. Yeah, they got Wild Bill, but I'm here. I'm still standing. So she ends up sitting down and she's like, hey, man, let me get a little 8-ball. Let me get a little something. Ain't too much. I just need something to. Monique told us she just needs something to knock the edge off. You know what I mean? Nothing too much. That's all she needed. Just a little loving. That's all. But right now, they were worried about her saying too much and blowing her cover in there. But that's one thing about Carol. She can adapt. Carol is one of them, but she ain't one of them. She one of them, but she ain't one of them. You know what I mean? Like Carol, she don't really want to be this way, but she does this shit because she need that fix. That's why I said she one of them, but she ain't one of them. If Carol didn't go down the wrong path, she probably would have been an all right white girl. But instead, she didn't went down the wrong path. She done went down the wrong path, and she hanging with the devils because she is a devil herself. She got the mark on her shoulder. Yeah. So she's in here. She's like, I got a van outside. That's the same move everybody always pull. If I was a cop, man, I got a van outside right now. They listening to me. So you don't joke around like that. So they thinking that the cover's about to be blown. But she convinces her that I ain't no cop. I ain't working with the law. But what's up with that blow? What's up with that blow? Gary out here, he's about to lose it. It's like his little daughter in there working, and he's like, damn, they about to kill her. They about to kill her. But before she leaves, she's saying, hey, do you still got some connections over at Long? I'm trying to get over there because Wild Bill left my shit there. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to buy a whole new wardrobe. Now, at first, old girl was like, nah, man, nah, that ain't even sounding right. In the back room, of course, niggas get into it with each other. They get to fighting in the back, and someone pull a gun out, and all you hear, pop, pop, pop. Gary and Angie in their car. Angie calling for backup. We need to notify local authorities that shot fired. I'm telling you, people are dying. Get out here now. Help. Back up. Help. Carol runs past the van. She's flipping the van off because they looking out the window because everybody's running out. She hops into the car with old girl and they dip out. Now, Livingstone, on the other hand, remember, Livingstone, he from the UK. He just came here to see how shit is. But, man, shit's wild as hell. He got here, burning out a minor pregnant, and, like, it's a lot of weird shit going on here. So Livingstone's like, man, I'm about to go back to the crib for my family. I got to go back and visit my family. But Vernon knows if he leaves, the power that he has, the people that's following him, they gonna start leaving. If they see, why is Livingstone leaving? Livingstone was right up under him. Why would he leave this? If he's leaving this paradise, everyone's gonna leave the paradise. But luckily, George pulled up. George pulled up, and Lois has died. Now he's blaming it on Vernon. He's saying, "You did it. You did it. She killed herself because of you. She came over here. You did that. You let her on, and then you exiled her. She killed herself. Fuck you, Vernon." Punches him in the shit. Bow. Vernon falls down. Glasses on the ground. George leaves and calls him the R word. He said, "You rapist." Livingstone picks him up. My bad, Livingstone. Livingstone picks him up. David looks at him and says, "See, the devil is trying to get us." Livingstone thought he seen a sign, and he started to believe that Vernon was really the Messiah. This nigga, even after getting his ass whooped, can manipulate a motherfucker to believing that his L was really a W in life. Vernon was different. It's a weird motherfucker. This nigga got his ass whooped. Look at Livingstone and remember, oh man, you about to go to the UK? Don't go. That was a sign right there. That's the devil trying to bring us down. I told you the light would show itself. Livingstone is looking at this like, damn. Vernon did it again. Maybe this was a vision for him. So now he's in his jail cell current time. He got a little rebellion going on because he just dropped the ball in the courtroom because of Rocket. So now you hear him talking about, oh, he's going to come back. His name is David Koresh. He'll be back. So he in here yelling and he's starting to believe in Vernon again. But the guard don't give a fuck. The guard said, Livingstone, come get your food. Livingstone didn't get his food. He threw that nigga Livingstone food on the ground. And now his ass is sitting in the dark, hungry. Gary and Angie are sitting down and they're trying to wonder what the hell happened. Carol then ran off. She just skipped town. We ain't got the recordings or nothing. We don't know where she's at. Now, Gary doesn't believe this. Gary thinks that she's still trying to help out. Angie, she's like you and I. Angie's looking at it like, man, she gone. She ain't coming back, man. It's over with, man. She played us. Now, she riding off, looking out the window. You know how it is when you just ride and you just chilling in the passenger seat. You wake up like, damn, nigga, drive this motherfucker. Damn. Well, you sleep too? You know what I'm saying? You on the road trip, you sleep too? Hey, nigga, you driving. You need to stay awake, nigga. I'm in the passenger. I get to sleep. The niggas in the backseat get to sleep. You got to stay awake. We can't all be asleep. Someone got to drive. Now you scared to go back to sleep because you don't know if this nigga was sleeping or not. So now you just waking up and you got your head against the side thing where the seatbelt is, and you looking up out the window, you looking at the stars and shit, the moon. Yeah, you relax now. What up, Deshaun? What up, Cam? Cam, you from Waco? Nah, ain't no black people from Waco. Cam, you ain't from no Waco. We ain't believing that. Now, Angie's like, man, just read the letter. Let's see if she was bullshitting in the letter. While they reading the letter, she got to hide this wire. Did I say that out loud? She had the wire. Nah, Cam, we ain't. Hey, nah, we good. We ain't from Waco. You from Dallas. Yeah, Cam from Dallas, man. He ain't from no Waco. Not right now. Not while this show is on. We just gonna relocate you to Dallas until after this show. After this show, you know what I'm saying, we'll bring back to Waco. Right now, Waco is hot. We can't say you from Waco right now. But she got to hide this wire. And the letter that Gary is reading is a letter from Carol to her pappy. Said, Dad, if you're reading this, I'm probably dead. Something probably went wrong. But also, if you're reading this, I died doing something right for once. I tried to make a change. So when we read this, we like, oh, Carol, she want them dollars. Where them dollars at? So she's willing to go above and beyond, because initially all they wanted to do was buy some drugs from inside the little house party, and they were going to build off of that, and then later on come back and try to get access to Elome, Oklahoma. But she did both in one night. So she was proving to old girl that she was loyal by jumping out the window with her and dipping off with her. So right now she playing the game. She hides the wire in the cigarette box. She throws the cigarette box once they get out, because now they got checkpoints. They got the head dude coming out. He got these two hounds, two Dobermans. Now she starts speaking a little German, you know, the Doberman pincher. She said, nine. That means no. 9 cent. 9 cent. The dog's talking about. So now they got to pat her down to make sure she ain't wearing no wire. Once they discover that she ain't, they allow her in. Now they know that she's Wild Bill's girl, and they know that Wild Bill robbed 21 banks, and the 22nd one, the feds was there. But she plays it off and she says, it's probably your boys talking. I ain't had nothing to do with that. And there we go, man. Episode 1 through 3. Pretty good show. I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, we got that done in 3 hours. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. 3-piece. Oh man. So what y'all think so far, man? They got the trailer for episode 4. I watched part of it. Like I watched like the legit right before it started. Well, I mean, I seen when they were showing Timothy McVeigh, so I know that part of the story at least. But let me see something. And they got Gary supposed to be taking the stand for this while he's tracing after like, man, damn, look, that just messed up, bro. Man, that's crazy, bro. Oh, man. I remember when this happened too. I didn't understand it, man. I was a kid. Damn, they had the truck right here. 856. Wednesday. Damn, boy, that's shit. So 8:58. 8:56 is when they seen it ride by. Dog. That's all that was left for the truck right there. Yeah, Lord Bison, he was a fucking traitor. That's all that they had left for the truck. Man, that man, that stuff is crazy, man. This Come on, man, this thing's taking too long to load up. The calling card and the means to a criminal end design. He used stolen C4. Then the FBI was accused of editing the bombing tapes. Uh-uh. Man, there's always 7 people, including 2 teenage girls, reported missing, found dead today. It's a lot of shit that be going on in the world, bro. Yeah, Michael, we definitely not gonna know all the stuff until later, but that's what all these docu-series are doing, man. They getting and gathering and gathering and gathering so much more information. They really starting to piece stuff together. Shit, man. Did y'all man, I don't know. Like, I don't know if y'all be paying attention to the news or nothing. I know we don't get too political over here. I try to stay away from all that. But damn, did you see that whistleblower for all those Supreme Court justices? We already knew about Clarence. You already knew about Clarence taking that money, the $1 million. Well, a couple of the other judges, somebody of them blew the whistle. Blow the whistle. Yeah. Dog, they doing all kinds of shit. That nigga Clarence, it then came out that his wife, allegedly a top headhunter lawyer, was getting companies. So whenever they tried their cases and everything, they would put it in front of her husband and he would, you know what I'm saying, make it go in their favor, allegedly. And then there's another judge that the companies that he's dealing with, they're buying his property when no one else wanted to buy it, like remote locations. Man, it's a whole bunch of shit going on. Man, to me, that shit interesting. You know, I wouldn't consider myself a Democrat or a Republican as long as my checks come in. Hey, I mean, it's never gonna be perfect. Not in my lifetime, you know. So I just live and try to make the best of the situation. But man, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I be hearing all these people fuck, I just be looking like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? You just look at it like, damn, y'all worked this hard to be that crooked. You should have just been a regular motherfucker if you're gonna be that crooked. Like, you making it up to the, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's kind of like, as a regular person, you look at them like, dog, you did all of, you went to all school and just throw it all away for some bullshit. Trace, we talked about it a little bit. Yeah, Proz was an informant. He wasn't really doing nothing. That nigga was a fake representative. Like, just listen to all this shit that just be coming out, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. That Republican Party, man, them niggas is taking a hit right now. You might think all that shit that them motherfuckers get on here and tell you the truth. Whole time, these niggas and these, man, Trump didn't appointed some of these judges. These niggas ain't even looking out for Trump no more. I know they threw away something down in Florida, or one of the cases. They dismissed it. Defamation case of one of the chief executives that used to be with Trump. They dismissed his. I like, damn, man. All right. Y'all had that power for 4 years, man. This shit's about to unravel. Whistleblower wife of Chief Justice Roberts made $10.3 million from top law firms. The whistleblower alleges that Jane Roberts, wife of Chief Justice John Roberts, made $10 million recruiting for elite law firms, at least one of whom argued a case before the argued a case before the court after paying her husband thousands of dollars. So she would go out and find these elite law firms and make sure that they cases went in front of her husband. So when they went to trial, they would win it, and they paid them over $10 million, basically the bribery. I'm like, dog, all these motherfuckers is crooked like that, boy. Like, oh, and if you didn't know, as far as like the ethics and everything goes for the Supreme Court justices, since it's 9 of them, there is no ethics over them. It's just amongst themselves. So it's basically they supposed to govern themselves. So that's why they can't get hit with none of that, like the ethics, because they're supposed to be so non-biased that they could, you know what I'm saying, go at each other like that if need be, but they won't do it because there's no ethics for them. Man, it's weird, man. It's a lot of shit that they don't even teach you that in school. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know that they didn't have a code of ethics for the Supreme Court justices. I thought all judges had that, but no, only federal and state judges. The Supreme Court justices don't have the ethical part, the ethical aspect of it. They govern themselves. Now, I mean, if they do a crime, then of course they go to jail for that shit. But as far as shit like this, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. My free time, I just sit down, let the news.
So the Chief Justice will not be at the hearing tomorrow. Samuel Alito will not be at the hearing tomorrow to tell us which attacks he thinks are fair, which appears to be what he's saying. But this is the only time that I'm aware of in the history of the Senate that the Senate has asked to hear from the Supreme Court about ethics, and the answer is no.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual. And one of the weird things about it is that judges operate under a code of conduct that's in writing. It's the Judicial Code of Conduct. And Canon 4 of the Judicial Code of Conduct reads, a judge may appear at a public hearing before a legislative body on matters concerning the administration of justice. Well, he's a judge. We're a legislative body. We're going to have a public hearing. It was going to be on the administration of justice.
If you could have the chief there tomorrow, what would you want to ask him?
I think I'd want to explore the argument that they make that there's nothing that can be done to put any control over the Supreme Court justice's behavior because of the doctrine of separation of powers.
You see? You see? So when you hear people saying, why does it take us so long? Why don't they do something? If they had evidence, they do something. Don't matter how much evidence you got, there's always loopholes, and motherfuckers gonna find their way around it. Allegedly, they doing all kinds of wild shit up there. But guess what? All this shit is tying into y'all boy, the big T, R-U-M-P, and that nigga think he's slick. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he's about to lose that R-word case. This nigga is leaving the country. I don't know how the fuck he's allowed to leave the country anyway, but he's about to leave the country on the date of the civil court case trial. He's going to Switzerland, so he won't be here the day that he's found guilty. Now he'll just have to pay a fine or pay her whatever the money is, but he's leaving the country to go to Switzerland. It's a fucking dirty game they play, man. It's a dirty game they play. And you hear, I ain't gonna lie to you, you hear a lot of these goofy niggas, we need him back, man. Shit was great. Yeah, well, now we finding out that shit wasn't great. Now we find out that this nigga was playing dirty the whole time. But we already knew that. But now it's getting exposed. That motherfucker Trump going to Switzerland. That nigga said, I'm gone. All right, Trump. I mean, I don't know why they letting it. They should like take this nigga passport. He shouldn't be able to leave the country. I mean, I get it. Yeah, man, there's a lot of shit going on, bro. It's just. Yep. It's crazy, man. But in the words of Trump, if they can come after me, they'll come after you next. Trump is the only thing standing in between us and our freedom. Okay, Trump. They on your ass, brother. They on your ass. But yeah, we got a little bit of free time before I get up out of here. It's 9:30. Yeah. Yeah, we good. We good. Tomorrow I'll probably have a live during the daytime again for Power. When I get off of here, I gotta watch the White House Plumbers. We got that tomorrow night. If I can get the episode, I gotta make sure I get the episode. I'll let you guys know. But nah, Lord, but ain't no Civil War coming. Ain't no Civil War coming. 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll do the White House Plumbers. Overall, Waco, the aftermath, I'm liking it. We got 2 episodes left. I thought it was going to be a 10 series, but it's just a 5. Nah, Laura, it ain't going to be. It ain't no way. It ain't no way you're going to be able to do. There's no way you'll be able to do a Civil War now. Yeah, you got the National Guard for the states, but shit, the reserve is the same amount or more. Plus, you got the federal DOD. It ain't gonna be no Civil War. It ain't gonna be no Civil War. Niggas is gonna be. They won't let that happen. It wouldn't even happen. It ain't gonna be no difference than what they've been trying to do, right? What we talking about on this show with them bonding it, man, they ain't gonna have enough power for that. They might hit like a little dent. Well, it wouldn't even be a dent when you think about the big picture. It'd be a little scratch, but it ain't gonna be nothing like that. The daytime, it'll probably be 3 p.m. Eastern, probably more than likely. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern at what, noon? Noon to about 2:33. Hop off for 3. Yeah, probably like that. Yeah. But yeah, man, I ain't worried about no civil war, because if there is one, good luck to all y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and take what I got. I'm gonna go ahead and lead the country. When it calms down, y'all let me know. Let me know how it was. You know what I mean? Did you get your musket? You know what I mean? Let me know. Let me know what you did, man. And are you with the North or the South? The Civil War, man. Hell no, ain't gonna be no Civil War. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, you know, it's just gonna be a few of us. Ain't nobody really messing with Waco like that. But shit. Episode 1, 2, and 3. I'm Mo.J. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm out.